Okay, we are live. Flat Earth British, Martin Liedtke speaking. Hi guys, thanks for waiting. 100 of you waiting. 101. Flat thumbs to all. Good to see you. So, sanity. We're going to have some FEB sanity, pure escapism. This is going to be a bullshit-free zone. So, no Sharona and no devil-worshipping bullshit out there. Okay, guys? Good to see you all. All right, let me check my comments are in order. No Sharona. Absolutely fucking perfect. So, I'm having a funny time of it. In fact, I had a spiritual experience 2 days ago, which I've had no one to share with, so I might. And I'm still feeling it. Still feeling it today, straight. Just never experienced anything like it. So, I come today to think about ways out of this place, And it's a pleasure for me to talk about this post. It's going to be one of my favorites ever, I know this. GeoShifter, all hail GeoShifter. Good to see you doing your activism today, brother. I've been keeping an eye on it all. So we're going to think about one of my favorite ever stories, and it is one of my favorite ever stories, next to probably Moby Dick and USS Ulysses, which is another stories I like. But this one's one of my favorites ever. Why? It's a story of Olaf Johnson and his father, who went to lands north of the North Pole, beyond the North Winds, which some regard as the Hyperborean, some regard as Eden. And it's a fantastical tale where they go into what we talk about on Flat Earth British as being a North Pole hole into an inner world, an underworld, under here. Okay, so we don't know what is under us, guys. This could be a big room with different levels in it, different floors, etc. So, sanity. Yeah, when was the last moment of sanity humanity ever had anyway? You know, I've had to be, madder than them just to cope with them all. I'm in a weird mood, guys. I'm in a serious, non-give-a-fuck mood, which is lucky for you lot. Okay, which is lucky for you. And I don't really give a fuck mainly anyway. You see what I mean? So I'm going to give a few of you a shout. Hades is the underworld. Yeah, in the sort of, I guess, the Jewish version of the dome, and the Greek as well, they show under us, they show the void, or they show the Sheol, which is like just a void. But there could be like geodes or just massive, massive empty spaces, size of continents. All we know. We know that they are digging and tunneling all the time. We know this place is honeycombed. We know you could go from London to Istanbul without sticking your nose above ground. So they could be just really low down there, okay, beneath the inertia plane on a completely upside down world. We could actually be upside down, and they could be the right way up. They could flip and become the other way. How is this physically done in the physical realm? I'm not actually quite sure. So, yeah, it's been a year since I've actually gone live on Martin Liedtke channel. Last October the 26th, actually. But now I got this shit up and running. I guess it'll be really cool. So, I awoke. Good video I seen you the other day. Fritz, good to see you. Lobo, Dick, Melissa, yay, Cat of Canada, Glenn Sketch, Dick Richards, good to see you all. Now, so what I'm going to do, hopefully this will all go all right. Okay, I'm just worried about video audio claims. I guess it'll be all right. I done a little video yesterday where I talk or narrate the best part of the Smoky God, okay, which is the tales of Olaf Johnson and his father. And when they arrived, I narrate when they arrived, my best, excitingest bit of the tale. I always love this. I always talk about it too. Where they land, and there are fantastic, kind giants to greet them, and advanced technology, electric flying trains, and all the rest. It really, really grabs the imagination, guys. It's a sweet, sweet thing. So GeoShifter, probably, who's in the chat right now, probably posted... or 5 years ago, maybe, the book Beyond the Worlds, The World Beyond the Poles, which is a fantastic book. I've got it myself, talking about lands appearing and going up and down in the south. Now, that's the thing about Olaf Johnson. Somehow they fantastically, almost as if in a portal or a loop or a vector of some sort, they go in the North Pole hole, okay, spend a couple of years in this fantastic culture, but they come out somewhere in the south. So what's going on there? Is that actually the way out? Now, I want to talk about electromagnetics a little bit in this, guys, along the way, and the fact that people, human beings, have magnets in them. The doctors or the scientists are just starting to recognize the magnet that is there. And also, you know, rib cages. Now, birds have the same technology, this electromagnetic technology. They have magnets in their beaks to guide them. Now, we have an inbuilt compass, and my compass is telling me north. But how can it be north to get out of here when the portals are south? Tricky, unless the way in is through the north to get out through the south. Well, we've thought it 1,000 times over the last 5 years. Seems tricky, seems a bit loopy, okay, but how the fuck do we know? We don't know what's down there. We don't know what's up there. We don't know anything, okay? Anything about this realm, okay? Except that we're starting to, well, myself instinctively think that because it can be interacted with and manifested, your I was going to say wishes, but for truth, then I'm finding that this place is a simulation, but in a spiritual sense, because I've had a spiritual happening, which I might probably have again. Hi, Randall Cochran. Had a heart map in this for you, brother. So, let me just chill out. I'm not going to be going all fucking frantic tonight. I'm on a very frantic frame of mind. I've come here because I know there's a lot of the community out there who must be feeling like me, okay? Because there's a lot of people out there in the community are thinking, what the hell, you know? So keeping this going, keep the juice going for the community to be together. I've been working on a format with the webmaster of Barbaria, Luke, concerning a place for us to hang out and go to if we're bored during the day to talk about Antiquitech, flat earth British things. I think it's a fantastic idea. So let me have a look here. Waltage is in the house. Flat Earth head. Waltage. Miss you, Walt. It's been 24 hours since I've seen you. Excellent show last night. Very thought-provoking show I went on last night. Iron Realm Media with Walt, who's in the chat right now. Bob from Globebusters. A few others. Zachary, Akami, etc. And we were talking about this aspect that Walt mentioned of the fall of night. It was just really got me thinking all day about that, you know, Walt. I've been thinking about, you know, the light. You know, I'm not really doing massless packets, quanta or light. I'm not really doing particles at this stage of the game, actually. But there is something going on. So that was fantastic. I enjoyed last night. Thank you very much for that. Very absorbent and an excellent flat earth proof to boot. Another black swan. So, news, flat earth British news. Dun dun dun. Drum roll. Oh, my fucking thing. Sweat heat. Sean Connery is now brown bread. My second favourite James Bond ever, Sean Connery. Okay, Sean Connery died age of 190. Actually, it was just the 90. But yeah, Sean Connery's dead. And today in the news, yeah, that'll do. Today in the news, Queen. This is like another flat earth British prophecy coming true right here. I did say Philip would be dead by Christmas, but I did say she'd be gone by next year. Did I not? Tell me I never. Anyway, we might hear from the woman herself later on. We'll have to see how this goes from Queenie Thumb and Kingy Thumbikins. Okay, about this. Queen Elizabeth, Liz, has abdicated or will abdicate, like I said, next year, which means her son, Charles, will now be king of the world. Dun, dun, dun. All in one day. I'm fucking flabbergasted. Sean Connery, my second favourite James Bond ever, dead. Queenie, sold her palace, is now going to abdicate and fuck off to the lands up north through to get to south or wherever they are. Subtitles, no, boy, I'll do them later. I'll do them later, okay? I've been doing it through stream whatever this fucking is, and they don't do the option, but I'll put them in later. What nationality are you? I usually put in Russian in front of British because there's a lot of Russians that love this. Your favourite James Bond, Teresa? No, Roger Moore was the best. He married a Welsh woman. Did Roger Moore marry a Welsh woman? No, he never did. He? And there's been videos going around saying he's a chick. I don't think he was a chick because he was Mr. Universe, but that's a bit weird in itself, don't you think? Yeah, no. Hi, Paul. I said that. Memory Man, hi, good to see you. Underground. So, yeah, I've seen the protests today. I've seen Ike, Hero for Humanity, doing his speech in Birmingham. We're saved. And what do you mean, ew, Roger Moore, Dawn? No, he was good. He was good. He's better than George Lazenby anyway. Can't argue with that. Or Dalton, better than him. Yeah. And probably Brosnan as well. He was pretty shit. This new one's pretty fantastic. And guess who they're going to have next to James Bond, guys? Tom Hardy. That will be good. Tom Hardy's good. Yeah. He's done a good Craig Twin. He'll do a better James Bond. Anyway, let's get on with the juice. What I'm going to be doing tonight, right, we're going to be hanging out, we're going to be having fun. I'm going to be going through a load of stuff. I made a video for you yesterday. Hopefully it will go down the way I intended to, pleasurably and audibly. And we're going to think about, other civilizations that talked about, like El Dorado, the city of gold that was in the jungle in Brazil, I guess, by the Incas' city of gold that they went in quest for to try and find El Dorado. Now, they got the same thing in Asia as well. They have Shangri-La, another mystical city made of gold. The Dalai Lamas or the Lamas on the high Tibetan plateau are aware of, and they say it goes down into an underworld. Now, the Dalai Lamas seem to know a thing or two of the Lamas, don't they? So they're saying there's an underworld too. And plus the Norse, and probably most Asian theologies say that there's probably something underneath us, like people, giants. So if they're not from up there, they're from down there, or both. Anyway, so I'm going to do some vintage photography that I dug up as well, hopefully a bit later on, of Fantastic Spain 8080. And oddities, which are really, really odd from history. I got images of the day, which is super fantastic, and much more besides. So I've been busy. I've been on a show yesterday. That'll be up this week on Richard Lopez's channel with Robert Bassano, Gio, hanging out. Yes, we should get together. Gio, Robert Bassano, and Martin, like in the old days. It'd be really fantastic. Hint. Clues all the way through this, pieces that have been put together, especially with the magnets in the head. I'm thinking about, in terms of human bone batteries as well. We're going to think about rain. We're going to think about the Phoenicians. We're going to think about how easy it is to get them out when we brought them in. It's just a reverse process. Okay, it's not listening to the psyche, it's not listening to the bullshit in your mind, and it's not listening to pandemics, devil worshipping. They're not going around knocking doors saying trick or treat anymore, guys. Now it's track and trace. Scan you at your door. Yeah, I chuck a bucket of piss over them. That's what I do. It's not illegal to chuck a bucket of piss over anyone, by the way. If you want an anti-person measure, just chuck it out the window at them. So, I just watched your video as above below. Courtney Love, no surprise there. Whew. She was always hard on the eyes anyway, and I used to think the way she dressed on stage was like, really, is any fucking need for that? I'm a dude. So, yeah, Courtney Love, a dude. So, this is like fucking dazzling my eyes out. I got the lights for my thing. So we're going to get into the juice now, guys and girls. I'm going to be showing you a video that I made yesterday. Hopefully it's going to be okay and you can hear it all. I'm going to take you on a fantastic voyage. out of Scandinavia up to St. Joseph's and Spitsbergen, and then we're going to go further north, beyond the North Pole. Now remember, there's a needle on the compass, that little red needle, and it always points north. Pray tell, why is that? So that's what we're going to think about, guys. So I hope you enjoy yourselves in chat. I don't know how many of you are watching. 339. Now, do me a favour, 391 of you. Yeah, that's right. Share this out. There's people out there piss bored on their own on a Saturday night with all of that bullshit going down outside, like fireworks and Hallow frigging and all the rest of it. Yeah. Share this out. People are here. Come over to Flat Earth British, hang around with the community and relax. Yeah, chill out with me. Makes sense? Cool. So yeah, like I said, it's been a year since I've done this on this channel. Hi Vertic, my brother. Okay, we're going to get cranking up now with some usage and some information. So, hee-ha, the Queen is dead, the Queen is dead, the Queen is dead. So, she might be dead. They might be just saying she's abdicated. Get her on the way. Don't tell them the Queen's dead. It's a pandemic. It might like detract their minds from our brainwashing program. Anyway, Antarctica is magnetic. Well, Antarctica is anomalous. We're going to take a look at that on Google Earth. I've always had questions of it. I actually don't think it's there. I think Western, or a part of Western Antarctica as a landmass, situated off of South America. Okay, Tierra del Fuego, land of fire. It's not very fiery, is it? It's bloody ice. So we'll have a look at some maps along the way as well, and I'll show you this place was green and beautiful. And other places that were green and beautiful, they're no longer. A lot of information in this post. Thank you, Boxcar Willie. I like Boxcar Willie, actual musician himself. So let's have a think. Let's have a think, Martin. Let me orientate myself. Okay. So I'm going to share screen. Make sure to share this. Hi, Italian Carroted. Sean Connery is dead at 90. And you're watching my video, Robin? Yeah, I know. I just said that. Oh, and quiet. Never say never again, eh? Never say die. All right, he was good. We like Sean Connery. All right, and he was in Time Bandits as well. So we'll give him that one. All right, get away with everything. Although we did go to that Tavistock Institute school that Phil Collins and David Bowie and all of the Royals went to. You are aware of that? Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Don't shatter your illusions that he was a good bloke or anything. He's not, or wasn't. How dare you tarnish Sean Connery upon the day of his death? I wouldn't do such a thing. Should have what I said about fucking Lady Di when she snuffed it. I didn't even go to a funeral. Didn't get an invite though. Anyway. Oh dear, Martin, get your shit together. Just excuse me a second. Just want to sort something out. Dun dun dun. Okay. Martin is gonna share screen. If you can find his pages, there you are. So, what we're going to have a look at now, guys, I'm just going to be showing you a video that I made. I hope it's not echoey. I hope you can hear it only yesterday. The Hyperborean, the lands beyond the North Wind. Okay. Are they there? Is it possible for them to hide 4 continents that were mapped by Mercator? Is it possible that we could hide 4 continents on what they tell us to the place where we're living on? Well, it would seem, yes, quite comfortably. Is it there? Is it there? Or where Mount Meru is situated, is there a hole? No, it's not actually sharing that. Give us a second. I got a way out of that. I've got the pictures. Did you hear the audio for that? Yeah. You didn't see the pictures, though, did you? So the video didn't play, did it? Fuck. All right, that's all right. I got it here as well. Cause I thought of everything. Okay. 2 seconds. Make sure to share this up, guys and gals, and just please bear with me because it's a whole new format, out of which I've only been familiar with. If that. So, peace and love to you all. Be good. Enjoy. and I'm going to take you on a crazy ride. Okay. The Hyperborean, the lands beyond the north wind. Are they there? Is it possible for them to hide 4 continents that were mapped by Mercator? Is it possible that we could hide 4 continents on what they tell us is the place where we're living on? Well, it would seem, yes, quite comfortably. Is it there? Is it there? Or where Mount Meru is situated, is there a hole or a way in to a level or a plane that is underneath us? What we're going to look into now is the famous tale, very popular tale, of the Smoky God. The tale of Olaf Jenson and his father, who set sail from Scandinavia here via Spitsbergen and discovered these lands and went all the way up the rivers to golden cities occupied by giants. Now they know the names of these places and they know the names of these rivers, the Piso, they got the Euphrates, the Tigris, replicated Babylonia. Now, could it be there? Garden of Eden, Meru. Well, it's a very interesting story, is Olaf Johnson's. I'm going to cover a bit of it and I will read some of it to you. We'll get to the exciting bit where they actually discover these said lands. Okay, so what you see here is the map where Olaf Johnson and his father first sailed out from, up here, around Stockholm, around the peninsula, and then they came up to what is now today Svalbard, Spitsbergen, where it was beautiful weather, absolutely beautiful weather. Yeah, it was really confusing that it was so far north. Now, they set out, they take months, but they get there and they get to this, go through perilous journey of icebergs and they get terrible storms. They run out of provisions and fresh water. Image too small. Give us a second, peeps. Start it again now. And I'll make the image bigger, as in complete. I'm very sorry about that. Patience is a virtue. Do enjoy. But eventually, the compass points at the North Pole, or the North, but takes a dip. Now, the captain's heard of this, but he doesn't know what it means. So they carry on going, and then the captain decides, let's venture. Okay. They set out, they take months, but they get there and they get to this, go through perilous journey of icebergs and they get terrible storms. They run out of provisions and fresh water. But eventually, the compass points at the North Pole, or the North, but takes a dip. Now, the captain's heard of this, but he doesn't know what it means. So they carry on going, and then the captain decides, let's venture these waters where nobody has ever been before. So he asked his son, do you want to go where no man has set eyes before and find out what is exactly out here? Yeah, let's do it. And then they sailed. They hit a really bad storm up north, and they lost a lot of their provisions and their fresh water. But later, They run out of fresh water, but later Olaf decided to taste the water over the side and found out that it was fresh, which was really confusing because they were supposed to be in a place where the sea was salty, and then they observed this phenomena which they thought was a sun, but it never moved and it stayed with them the whole time. This red sun you see here is the Smoky God, what is referred to in the book, the Smoky God, as an electric light that illuminates the people of the Garden of Eden. Now, excuse me. We're going to pick up the story actually when Olaf actually finds this land with his father and spots it. Okay, so they've just come out of the storm. They've managed to find a bit of fresh water, keep them going, and then I sprang to my feet. Oh joy, joy unspeakable. There, far off in the distance, yet directly in our path, were lands jutting out boldly into the sea. The shoreline stretched off far to the right of us, far as the eye could see. And along the sandy beach, there were waves breaking into choppy foam, receding, and then going forwards again, ever chanting in monotonous thundertones of Song of the Deep. The banks were covered in trees and vegetation. I cannot express my feeling of exultation of this discovery. My father stood motionless with his hands at the tiller, looking straight ahead, pouring his heart out in thankful prayer and thanksgiving to the gods Odin and Thor. In the meantime, we had a net that we took out of the stowage, and we managed to catch a few fish, which helped and added to our dwindling stocks of provisions. The compass, which we had fastened back in place in fear of another storm, was still pointing due north and pointing on its pivot just like it had in Stockholm. The dipping of the needle, however, had ceased. What could this mean? Then too many days' sail had certainly carried us too far past the North Pole, and yet the needle continued to point north. Oh, I'm sorely perplexed, for surely our direction now should be south. We sailed for 3 days along the shoreline, and then came to the mouth of a fjord, or a river of immense size. It seemed more like a great bay. And into this we turned our little fishing craft, and directly in the direction being slightly northeast of south. By the assistance of the fretful winds that came to our aid, about 12 hours out of every 24 hours, we continued to make our way inland into Everward proved to be a mighty river, of which we had learned by the inhabitants later was called the Mythical. Our discovery came none too soon, for our remaining cask of water was highly exhausted, and we had no time for replenishment of our casks, and we continued to sail further up the river when the wind was favourable. Along the banks, there were great forests, miles in extent. We could see them stretching off away into the shoreline. The trees were of enormous size. We landed after anchoring near a sandy beach and waded ashore. We were rewarded by a quantity of nuts that were very palatable and satisfied our hunger, and a welcome change from the monotony of our stocks of provisions. It was about the first day of September, over 5 months we calculated since we left Stockholm. Suddenly, we were frightened almost out of our wits by hearing in the distance singing of people. Very soon thereafter, we discovered a huge ship gliding down the river directly towards us. Those aboard were singing in one mighty chorus, echoing from bank to bank, sounded like 1,000 voices, filling the whole universe with quivering melody. The accompaniment was played by a stringed instrument, not unlike our harps. It was a larger ship than anything we'd ever seen before, and differently constructed. At this particular time, our sloop was becalmed, and not far away from the shore, the bank of the river, covered with mammoth trees, rose up several 100 foot in a beautiful fashion. We seemed to be on the edge of some great primeval forest that doubtlessly stretched far, far inland. The immense craft paused, and almost immediately a boat was lowered and 6 men of gigantic stature rowed to our little fishing sloop. They spoke in a very strange language. We knew from their manner, however, that they were not unfriendly. They talked a great deal amongst themselves, and one of them laughed immoderately, and they thought, in finding this queer discovery that they had made, one of them spied our compass and seemed to have a great interest. The other had an interest in our sloop. Finally, the leader motioned as if he was to ask us whether we were willing to go aboard his craft. "What say you, son?" asked my father. "They cannot do any more than kill us, and they seem such kindly disposed." I replied, "Although, what terrible giants! They must be select 6 of the kingdom's crack regiments. Just look at their great size." "We must as well go willingly, as if to be taken by force," said father, smiling, "for they certainly able to capture us." Whereupon made known with signs that we were ready to accompany them. Within a few minutes, we were on board the ship, and half an hour later, our little fishing craft was being lifted out of the water and some strange sort of hook and tackle placed on board for curiosity. There were several 100 people on board this mammoth ship. We discovered was called the Naz, meaning, afterwards we found, pleasure, or to give it the proper interpretation, pleasure excursion ship. My father and I were curiously observed by the ship's occupants. The strange race of giants offered us equal amount of wonderment. There was not a single man aboard who had not measured fully 12 feet high. They wore full beards, not particularly long, they seemed short-cropped. They had mild, beautiful faces, exceedingly fair, with ruddy complexions. The hair of their beards, some were black, others sandy, and still others yellow. The captain, as we designated the dignity in command of this great vessel, was full head taller than all of his companions. The women averaged between 10 and 11 feet in height. Their features were especially regular and refined, while their complexions were most delicate tint, heightened by a healthful glow. Both men and women seemed to possess that particular ease of manner which we deem a sign of good breeding, and notwithstanding their huge statures, there was nothing about them suggested awkwardness. As I laid, as a lad, when I was 19, I thought about Tom Thumb, my father's 6 foot, and he didn't even come up to their waistline of these people. Each one seemed to veer the others, extending curiosity and show kindnesses to us. We all laughed heartedly. I remember when they were improvising chairs for myself and my father to sit at the table. They were richly attired in a costume particular to themselves, very attractive. The men were clothed in handsomely embroidered tunics of silk and satin and belted to the waist. They wore knee breeches and stockings of fine texture, and their feet were encased in sandals adorned with gold buckles, which we later discover that gold was the most common metal known and used extensively in decoration. Strange as it may seem, neither my father nor myself felt any solicitous of safety. We had come to our own. My father said, "This is the fulfillment of the tradition told to me by my father and my father's father, and sit back for many generations of our race. This is assuredly the land beyond the north wind." We seemed to make such an impression on the party that we were given specially into charge of one man called Julius Gardia and his wife for the purpose of being educated in their language. And we, on our part, were eager to learn and to be instructed. At the captain's command of the vessel, we swung cleverly about and began retracting our course up the river. The machinery, while noiseless, was very powerful. The banks and trees on either side seemed to rush by. The ship's speed at times suppresses that of any railroad train on which I have ever ridden, even here in America. It is wonderful. In the meantime, we had lost signs of the sun rays and found ourselves in a radiance within, emanating from a dull red sun, which had already attracted our attention. Not giving out a white light, seemingly from the cloud bank far away in front of us, it dispensed a greater light. It said, maybe as bright as 2 full moons on a clearest night. In 12 hours, the clouds were whiteness, would pass out of sight, as if eclipsed. And then 12 hours following corresponded with our night. We had learned that these strange people worshipped this great cloud at night. It was called the Smoky God of the inner world. The ship was equipped with a mode of illumination, which I now presume to be electricity. And neither my father nor myself were sufficiently skilled in mechanics to understand whence the power came to operate the ship, or maintain such beautiful lights answered the same purpose to our present methods of electric street lightings in cities, houses, and places of business. It must be remembered, this time I write this, it was autumn 1829. And we are outside the Earth's surface, not knowing anything, so to speak, outside on the Earth's surface. Not many people know anything, so to speak, of electricity. The electric surcharge condition of the air was a constant vitalizer. I never felt better in my entire life than in 2 years I spent with my father on the inside of the Earth. Excuse me. I resume my narrative of events. Now, the ship on which we sail came up and stopped 2 days later. Since we got taken on board, my father said, as nearly as I can judge, we are directly under Stockholm or London, a city where we had reached on the Jehu, signifying a seaport town. The houses were large and beautifully constructed, quite uniform in appearance, yet without sameness. The principal occupation of the people appeared to be agriculture. The hillsides were covered in vineyards and valleys devoted to growing grain. I never saw such a display of gold. It was everywhere. The door castings were inlaid, the tables, the veneers, the sheetings, the domes of public buildings were all gold. It was most generally finished on great temples of music. Vegetation grew in lavish abundance. The fruit of all kinds possessed the most delicate flavor. Clusters of grapes 4 or 5 feet in length, each grape as large as an orange, and apples larger than a man's head, typifies the wonderful growth of things inside our earth. I heard much about this city called Eden, but they kept us in a city called Jehu for the last year. At the end of this time, we learned to speak fairly well of their language, of this strange race of people. Our instructor, Julius Gardia, and his wife exhibited patience, which was truly commendable. One day, our envoy from the ruler of Eden came to see us. And for 2 whole days, my father and myself were put in a series of surprising questions. They wished to know where and whence we came and what sort of people dwelt without, and what God did we worship, our religious beliefs and mode of living in our strange land, and 1,000 other questions. The compass, which we had brought with us, attracted special attention. My father had commented between ourselves on the fact that the compass was still pointing north, although we knew that we had sailed over the curve of the edge of Earth's aperture and as far along southwards to the inside of the surface of Earth's crust, which, according to my father, estimated my own, and it's 300 miles in thickness from the inside to the outside surface. Relatively speaking, it's thicker than an eggshell, so almost all of the surface on the inside and outside of Earth. The great luminous cloud or ball or dull red fire. Fiery red in the mornings and in the evenings, and during the day giving off a beautiful white light. The Smoky God is seamlessly suspended in the center of what is a great vacuum within the Earth and held in place by the immutable law of gravity, or the repellent atmospheric force, as the case may be. I refer to the known power that draws or repels with equal force in all directions. The base of this electric cloud or central luminary, the seat of the gods, is dark and non-transparent. Saved by innumerable small openings, seemingly at the bottom of the great support of the altar of their deity, upon which the Smoky God rests. And the light shine through these openings, twinkling in the night, in their splendor, and they seem to be like stars, as natural as the stars which we saw shining in Stockholm, excepting to be appearing much larger. The Smoky God, therefore, each daily rotation of Earth within, believed that the Smoky God on the throne was actually due over and is stationary. The effect of night and day, therefore, produced by Earth's rotation. Now, I have since discovered that the language of these people of the inner world was much like Sanskrit. After we be given an account of ourselves and our emissaries, the central seat of the government of the inner continent, my father had, in his crude way, drawn maps and requested the outside surface, has been requested of the outside surface of Earth, showing divisions of land and water, given names to each continent, large islands and oceans, and they were taken overland to the city of Eden, to the convenience, different from anything we'd ever seen in Europe or America. The vehicle was doubtlessly some electrical contrivance. It was noiseless and ran on a single rail in perfect balance. The trip was made very high rate of speed. We were carried up the hills and down the dales, across valleys and along the sides of steep mountains, without any apparent attempt having been made to level the earth as they do for railroad tracks. The car seats were huge, yet very comfortable affairs, very high above the floor of the car. On the top of each car were high gear flywheels, flying on all sides, which were automatically adjusted, and the speed of the car increased at high speed, and these flying wheels geometrically increased. Jules Gardier explained that these were revolving fans on the wheels on the top of the cars, destroyed atmospheric pressure, or what was generally understood in the term gravitation. And with the force, thus destroyed, rendering nuggetry of the car is safe from falling from one side or the other of the tracks, and within the force of vacuum. The flywheels are rapid revolutions, destroying effectively the so-called power of gravitation and the force of atmospheric pressure, or whatever potent influence that may have caused all these unsupported things to fall down to Earth surface or nearest point of resistance. Wow. So, just to summarize, guys, they get taken to the high priest, the leader, a little bit later, where he wants to see these maps, find out. They spend good 2 years, a tour about, learn the language, which is Sanskrit, and then they have eventually a perilous, again, journey out of there, out of the inner earth, and they seem to pop up what some people regard as Antarctica. So they went in the north and they came out in the south. So they came back to Scandinavia eventually, telling their tale, or Olaf Johnson did. His father was killed, and eventually he was not believed, and he spent a lifetime in a mental institution, I think around 30 years. Eventually he was released, and then he came to America at the turn of the last century. Olaf Johnson and his tales of the wonderful Hyperborean. Is it there? I'll link the tale, the story to you. There's much more to it, but I'm just summarizing that exciting bit when they meet the giants. Also, I'm going to cover in this post balloons that went over apparently the North Pole. Clues in the maps. They are indeed mapped. This looks like a bit of a pyramid. Okay. And you get this. Don't buff. Fuck off. Land down here. Buffing. Motherfucker. Don't buff. I know. Yeah. Now, there's an island down by here called Janus Island, which I'll talk about in this post, which is the god of portals and gateways. And there's another Janus up by here island, another portal or gateway. Is it possible that that's the case? Is it possible that you could just go in through the North Pole hole and come out somewhere completely different? I think that the fleur-de-lis might be a clue. What you get on. Yeah, fuck all that waiting around. Good to see you all, peeps. That went better than I'd hoped, although the first one didn't go through. But super fantastic regardless. Welcome all to Flat Earth British, if you have just joined. 549 of you waiting. Did you actually share my show out? Did you? Will you please? Because there's a lot of people pissed off and bored out there on a what is, essentially Satan worship night. And Halloween in a pandemic. Yeah, there's nothing darker, is there? So I'm here to counter that. I'm the other side of that. I'm the anti-bullshit mode person, is what I am. I got epic not giving a fuckness. Oh, let's have a look at you all in chat. And I got some stuff I'm going to go through about North Pole. Think about, is that actually a reality? Could have Olaf, to my mind, why the hell, right, would he write all this down, tell people about it, and then not retract his story for 30 years or so in a mental institution? Instead of saying, yeah, I made it all up. It's all bullshit. I was a bit weird back then. Too much acid. And they let him out. But no, he would never retract the story. He did all of that mental institution where he went through hell to get out and then gets to America and then releases the story. To my mind, there's a good weight that wouldn't happen unless it was elements of truth in it. And then other narratives anyway, the search for crocodile, Peary's investigations, they are hiding 100% something there, is what I think. Okay, maybe you have to raise, maybe with the Ascension process, as I talked about in my last post. I've been posting all week on a Flat Earth British Think Tank channel. There's 3 videos on there this week. That's what I do in between these videos, where I talk about the Ascension process, the synchronicities, the numbers that we keep seeing, 111, 333, etc. People have contacted me and saying that, there was 111 viewers when I said 111, and read it out. Or another one said that 888 had shown up, the Equilibrium one, exactly at that moment. So there was a lot of syncs with my last post concerning spiritual ascension. So if that is the case, and we're sort of in the 4th dimension, getting ready to move into the 5th or whatever is happening, because it's outside of our frame of reference to understand or overstand it, then this is all part of the preparation process of what we're going through now. So I do think there is a way out here, and I do not think we are lost at sea. I think there's a narrow window when we can go back home. Okay, if we ascend, then this place may become visible. Remember all quasi-luminous? Yeah, back in, admittedly, but I had him on my channel back about 4 years ago, and he talked about the North Pole hole. He talked about us being lost at sea. And he talked about a way out of here, and he had a lot of clues. That's why I actually followed him, although he was a bit, radio rental, if you know what I mean. So let's have a shout to you all. This is epic. I'm going to be sharing again in a minute. I'm going to, let a few of you rally in. Make sure to share this out. Let's have a fantastic Saturday, Flatterday night on the realm. Let me just get my first on. So, hey Mel, good to see you. Hi Kanda, what's happening, brother? Seen you. I added you on Instagram, I think. Starting a jam. When you're in love with a beautiful woman. Hi, Your Honour. What's happening? And Heather, Paul Simon, Red Admiral, Cute Brunettes, and Admiral Bird. Yeah, well. So, Admiral Bird is said to go into the same North Pole hole. Do we trust Admiral Bird? Well, he gets killed a little while after his chronoscope interview on television, when he mentions that there's a land bigger than America yet to be set on by human eyes in Antarctica, full of resources. And then he just dies. But he was the youngest admiral. But he may have been given us clues, okay, before he died. Now, he says, no, all captains keep logbooks, as you are there. Robert Bassano stated the other night. Very, very good. If we could get all the logbooks, it'd be ka-ching, 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 wouldn't it? Yeah? Authentic, obviously. So, logbooks. Sorry, just lost my train of thought. Captain Rankin, good to see you here again. Fucking brain right out there. Your Honour. Ow, ow, ow. Itchy elbow. I wonder what that means. So let me tell you, trip you out a bit. I'll tell you something I haven't told you. I had a spiritual experience. I mean, I had a full, proper spiritual experience. It may happen again now. I'm not too sure. So I was thinking after I did this spiritual vlog 2 nights ago, and I got quite, on a buzz, and I got quite thought-provoking, if that's a word, but I got thinking. And I got thinking about this guardian angel that's with me, that's been guiding me, shouting at me, and have saved my life on numerous occasions to arrive me at this point in time right now. So while I was pondering her, because I know it's a her, okay, I was thinking to myself, what is it? What's going on? Why do you love me so much, and why are you taking care of me so much? And when I thought that, I seen like a white cloud, white thing move across there, right by there. Unmistakable. So with that, I started having electric running, coursing through my body. Electric right through my body. And I said it out loud. I said, is that you? And the waves that I'm having through my body now happen to me in the same way, only more intense, much more intense. I didn't want to push my luck. And I didn't want it to go away either. It did phase, and I sort of, shall I, because it was still there. I could still sense her. Her is a her, it's a she. Loves me, cares for me. My guardian spirit, who was there now, somewhere. I could feel it. So that blew me away. I was a bit weirded out and numb the next day. Come to terms with that as well. But I reckon it helped. It gave me help when I needed it. I felt weird lately. I've had a bit of almost because of all of this weirdness, I felt a little simmering bit of rage simmering below the surface. And I thought, oh, fuck no. Don't you fucking dare let that rise. Sometimes, it will. And then if that happens, the whole fucking world will know about it. So that will only happen when it comes to a sort of juncture or a point where I will know spiritually, instinctively, consciously that is the moment that I need to kick fucking ass, so to speak, which is what I'm here for, and which is what I do. That's right. So yeah, it's been epic. Lee made a post yesterday. That was fantastic. So we have a new Brian splat for you all, but I don't talk about it today because we got to ease into this one because it's a bit weird. Plus, it's a problem when you've got to reconcile stuff with yourself is what you've got to do. But the premise of it is God sinned when he created, and God, right, it's a bit of shit. In fact, because God invented evil, probably a bit evil, and it goes a bit more complicated than that, the Trinity. But we'll talk about that at a later date, okay, and the balance and how to heal the entire realm overnight. Love and light up. It's fantastic and easy. And we'll talk about it a little bit in this vlog as well. So how many of you in here? 555 watching. Another number synchronicity. Fucking tastic. Aussie Penner. Good to see you, Aussie Penner. I realised you subbed to my old channel, Tartarian channel, many years ago. What are you saying? Martin, you must connect Moorish Empire with Tartary, and actually there was parents in Asia, Moors built everything. Well, obviously there's a similarity, but there is a little bit of a distinction because Moorish is, obviously Moorish and the Arab feel and that. With it, Tartarian do get slightly Gothic, and then later it goes into like Gothic Baroque, which you don't feel in Arab or Moorish feels. But having said that, there are Tartarian Moorish buildings because I think at some stage all of this realm, including the Moors, were Tartarians because everybody was at some stage. Dun, dun, dun. So we'll have some fun along the way. I'm going to share some screen. We're just going to get on with the usage, okay? Now think about Weezaria. Some of the things that have been linked up in the last couple of weeks by YouTubers and hangouts that I've been in, some thoughts that I've been having, etc. And we'll see how this goes. So, peace and love to you all. Are you all happy? Have you forgotten all your bullshit? I know Emma at the beginning of the vlog was saying she'd have a fucking terrible day. Well, don't worry. It's all over with now. We don't do all of that shit, that terrible days. We put an end to terrible days here, flat of British. Hey, Bragg. Reading ahead of time. My book arrived at your house. Oh, how fantastic. I hope you enjoy it. Brain splat on you. You'll never be the same again. So, yeah, thanks for that, Aussie Penner. Good to see you, my friend. Long time since I've seen you in my chat. Years, in fact. Years. So, let's have a drink and I'm going to share screen. It's good to hear, William. I know a few of you were a bit like, when you got, yeah? It's understandable. It's a fucking madness. Look at today, right? Boris Johnson does, not that I mention anything about that bullshit, but he does a special speech today to say, like, England is going to be lockdown 2, and, like, you won't be having fucking Christmas, shitmas. Not that they care. Anyway, they're having a Halloween. They prefer that. Some houses are covered in Halloween shit around you. It's bloody pathetic. But that's just me. Knock yourselves up if you're into all that. Anyway, so yeah, and so Wales is to be unlocked, and our Welsh Minister of Fuckery says that, there will be a second lockdown in Wales because we pulled you off with the firebreaker. Yeah, ka-ching. But England, however, will be locked down. Well, you having a fucking giraffe? So yeah, and then they say on my Google feed that they're putting people on the border. I think this is all organised just to fuck with your head. I don't think any of that's going down. They can't police everything. They got to go and catch hoodies fucking throwing fireworks, haven't they? They've got important stuff to do with their time, and put fines on people for not wearing shitty nappies on their faces. Anyway, the new name for you, Martin, is Tartarian Taff. No, John Neo, I'm a Celtic Tartarian channel already. It's been there for years. Or I renamed it last year when I got this channel. Right, stop waffling on. Good to see you, my verdict friend. Good to see you all in chat. Happy Flatterday. And we may have a word from King. Ow! I just put my fucking hand. Ow. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, guys. I just put my hand in a fucking candle. And it was like. Excuse me a minute. Messed myself up. I messed my lovely new shirt. Somebody bought me. Anyway, it's only wax. I'm not clumsy anyway. It just comes and goes in waves. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I am. Most of the time I am. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's me. Whatever. Matt will then. Anyway, let's get on with it. Dear, oh dear, Martin. How did they put up with you? I don't know. So we're going to have a look at some, that was that I've already played, excuse me. So, yeah, we'll have a look at them a bit later. So there's the book, if you don't know about it, Smoky God. He wrote it, all of this happened like between 1811, 1839, etc. But he wrote it, it got published like around the 1900 mark. So there's the link. I'll give you the book in as soon as this show's finished. Okay, guys, you can check it out for yourselves. Now, Janus Island. Now, the reason I talk about this is I was on a show a month or so ago with Black Sheep researcher, who is Paul in Leicester, who's a fabulous researcher. He really is a lovely guy. And he noticed that there was 2 Janus Islands, one in the north by Baffin Island Way in Canada, and one in the south near to Western Antarctica. And Janus Island, okay, is situated there, as you can see. We'll take a look at it now and see if there's anything weird. Anyway, so it's a small rocky island off of southwest Anvers Island in the Palmer Archipelago. Janus Island is the southernmost of the islands of west of the entrance to Arthur Harbour. Janus Island was named by the United Kingdom Antarctic Place Names Committee, following a survey from the Falklands Islands Dependency Survey. Anyway, the name Janus Island from the ancient Roman deity Janus, who was the guardian of gates, arose because of the position of the islands at the entrance of Port Arthur. What exactly do they mean by arose, the guardian and the gates? Are they just talking metaphorically, or are they talking like there's actually gates, like the 4 angels, the gates? arose because of the position of the islands of the entrance. I thought that was quite intriguing thing to write in their Wikipedia thing. So let's have a look at it. It's on Google Earthage, and there's another one further north. So if there is any of Antarctica there, I would say it is this bit, okay, Western Antarctica, which they say, and a lot of it is below sea level. So let's have a look. So it's right on the tip, you know, and this is supposed to be on some maps. This is like green, as I'll show you, and pleasant, but it's not the bigger island. It's this fatty little thing here, which is hardly any bigger than this island, which isn't named. This island, or this island, which also isn't named. But this island, for whatever reason, is named. I almost thought I'd seen a star photo on it the first time I looked. So that's all it is. Strange sort of lines to it. But why name that one and none of the others? Isn't that an unusual thing? I wonder what's going on with that exactly. Black Sheep Research is one of the best researchers on YouTube. No doubt about it, my brother. It's absolutely superb. So that makes no sense. So, you know, none of this big one is named. None of these archipelagos. Not this big one is named. None of them. Just this fatty little thing there. Is there something else going on, do you think? Where are you? And that is the key. There's another island down here as well called Deception Island as well, you know, where you deceive. There's another, and I looked up the names of the islands south of the 60th latitude lines, and some of them have got quite anomalous names, guys, you know, like with clues. And I'm thinking that there might be a lot more going on there than we actually think. Let me just share some, images of, take them up, of the world, but Antarctica. Let me show you. Deception Bay is up by Newfoundland. Yeah, Shabaluga. Yeah, that's right. No, there is. I'm sure there's one in South, if I can remember rightly. Hi, Ranzace. Good to see you. Right, see if this map's come up. I'm just keeping it on the screen. Good to see you, Vertic. Don. I have the created. Bragg, Sean, good brother. No, it's not come up, have it? Okay, that's fine. So, excuse me. Stop sharing screen. That's fine. So, my fine friends, what do you think? Is there something going on down there? We'll look at some maps in a minute. First, we're going to have a look at some oddities of the Victorian era. We're going to have some thoughts about electromagnetics. And I slept last night with a magnet under my pillow. It's still there now. Because I read in this article that if you sleep on a magnet, it will help you have a deep sleep. And I've had some sleep trauma. So, did it work? Yeah, I think it did. So, we have magnets in our brains, but if you think down onto the toruses anyway, as in we're not really like atoms, really, it's magnets, north and south opposing toruses, right the way down to the smallest thing, right the way up to the biggest thing, which is the structure of this building that we're in, electromagnetically. If I get time, we'll have a little look at that as well, a little bit later in this post. So, unfortunately, my images didn't load up then. So thank you anyone who's given me a super there. Thanks for that, Scotty, my brother in Chicago land. So you bet, Martin. It's North Pole, South Pole, they're hiding. Well, yeah, they got the same restrictions past the Dew Line North as they have for the Antarctica Treaty. You know, that's just insanity in itself. Whenever they, you know, they can everything. Have a look at Alberta, the Athabasca tar fields. And see how they treat this landscape. But Antarctica has to be kept pristine for sweet FA. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. So anyway, on with the show, Martin. On with the show. I hope you're all enjoying yourself so far. We're going to have a little bit of humour and stuff a little bit later. Okay. Now, Dun, dun, dun. Pineal magnet. Glenn knows all about this then. Okay. Now, modern medicine doesn't really recognize it, but they do recognize the electrical activity of the brain, obviously. But in all 7 brains, the brain stem and the cerebrum have a greater magnetism than the higher up cerebrum cortex. The researchers hypothesized that this type of magnetic particles could be found in the brain regions. It's composed of what's called Fe, iron, 304, based on previous studies found this particle in human brain. So we have magnets in the brain. Magnets can assist us also. It can assist the water. Okay, if we magnetize, vortex, structure, depending on what we want to say, charm your water through intent and good feelings and good thoughts, that would work also. In fact, that is the entire key to getting rid of them. Okay, now I got to thinking about birds as well, because a bird does not fly, it is flown. A fish does not swim, it is swum. So I got to thinking about feathers, and there's some interaction going on with obviously the electromagnetics at this place and flight as well. Plus they got built-in magnets. They fly south of the wind. So this is all connected. This is all connected to us. So let's break through the magnets. Now, what we got here now, guys, I'm going to share with you is some fantastic images of Spain. So it gives you Cadiz, it gives you Madrid, but it's all in 1880. The photographer died in 1886, so before 1880. Hey, Alex Magic, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Wow, brother. So let's have a zoom and let's have a look and explore together through antiquity and see what we can find. So what you do find, I've examined a few of them, okay? Alameda, and there is nobody at home, and the trees are all brand spanking new. And it's quite stunning architecture. But check this out, this building. Bars, 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 bricked up, bricked up, bricked up. The door, bricked up, bricked up, bricked up. This thing's just left to rack and ruin. What do you think they are? Are they planters? Really don't look like planters. They look like this thing here, this thing here, this thing here, and this thing here, slide together to make one thing. And I'm just wondering what it is. Can you see what I mean, guys, with these things here? So I think that's a clue. Let's have a look what else. So there's no one around. He's standing on a fasciae. Trees are brand new. Have we got anybody at home? Maybe a ghost or two? They always have these beautiful railings on everything for the Greco-Romano world. What's this? Let's see what we can find. So no, nobody at home, but this place is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And it's on a star fort. The whole thing is on a ginormous star fortage. Check that out. Wow. Star fortage, the entire thing. Full of statues. But no one at home. So what time of day are we looking at? The shadows. It's pretty late in the day, really. I'd say afternoon anyway. So, curious and curious, said Alice. Anyway, well, the next one. So, same city, but we do get some people. Let's have a look what they're up to. Ooh, Cadiz is up next, Alex. I do love Cadiz. I've been docked there a couple of times myself. It's terrible trouble in Cadiz, but I usually do wherever I am anyway. Look at this star fortage, guys. Wow, some juicy star fort. Nice. Got a lot of aerials going on, considering it's 1880. Okay. Okay, we have some later trees here. What are these gates? There's no gates as such in these days, is there? No fixings for gates. You just get these two bollards with the pots. I think that's a gas light. So let's have a look through more of these. Some of them are really juicy. Plus, we can see what we discovered together on Flat Earth British Flatterday special. We got oddities to come, which are a bit weird, and we got Pics of the day to come, which are even better. So I had an email, and some YouTuber called I can't say it. Anyway, his name's Paul the Guitarist. So he sends me a video he makes, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's mesmerizing, and the music was mesmerizing. I said to him, "Have you got any music like that I could use copyright free?" And he sent me like a full album full of music, like Celtic, traditional, Arabic, absolutely beautiful tunes for me to use on these videos, guys. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. It's mudded, isn't it? There's not much going on except mud. A few people around. I wonder what that bunko booth that's half buried is doing. See that? Part of the computer, the old computer setup. Looks exactly like a little nug. Or a little bit of solder from above, I bet. So that church is fantastically big. And a few people fishing. But not much going on, and mud. There's such big buildings, you'd expect like some pavementage going on. And religious reliquary. More going on with these for sure. Let's have a look at this from Cathedral. Yeah, I've got a picture on that wall behind me. That ship, picture of the ship, that's taken in Cadiz Harbour. I'm not on that ship, it's my father's. Check that out. So I'm guessing that's all made of what? Silver? Oof. How come that didn't get half-inched in the Crusades? Oof. Right, sort of more classical art pieces. Strange, unhappy things associated with religion. Strange. Yeah, I'm not having anything to do with any of it anyway. I'm out of the Matrix, Halloween, shitmess, all of it. I don't have anything to do with any of it anymore. I don't have to anyway, not my age. When you're in love with a beautiful woman. There's a person there. You go it alone. You go it alone, yeah, you go it alone. Oh, wow. No mud has happened here at all. Check this out. The Greco-Romano world, or the Phoenicians, got the shell, got the eagle. Shit, Rome just fell. So you got these built that, and this is what the this is what the occupants built, a little shack next to it. So let's follow this beautiful bridge across. The old stonework, and what looks like a bit of a melted stone. Wow. This place is really interesting. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, look at that stone. Meltage. Excuse me, I got my cursor, of course. Wow, my cursor's caught. What's going on there? Sorry, my cursor doesn't seem to be working. What the fuck is going on with that? I don't know, I got cursor voodoo. Maybe I should try it on my lap. Wow, my cursor's playing up. Serious? What a fucking time to do that. My fucking cat, what the fuck? Look at this. I'm having like really bad like cursor problems. It won't even do it. Oh, well, that's a bummer, isn't it? Holy shit, ski. Can you see this going on? Let me Hey, Liddy. Halloween. Yeah, don't worry about all that. Anyway, it's a live thing anyway. You know, you just got to take it as it comes. And it's Flat Earth British, and it's me. So whatever, isn't it? Look, magic did all fucking better. Listen, all that fucking bullshit to read about bullshit, I don't care about. It's just bullshit. That makes any sense. Don't waffle on, man. Do yourself a flavour. So, yeah, this place looks completely fucking devastated from whatever's happened. Yeah, it's going weird again. What's going on with my cursor? I won't drag and drop it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's just the Gallica being just shit. Hey, we'll move to that in a minute. Don't want to waste your time. Now, let's have a look at some curiosities, and I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, guys. Now, I found this the other day. Shell Grotto. Now, I remember going into a shell grotto when I was a kid, but it weren't this one. I don't think I've been to Margate, as far as I know, anyway. I went to one in Cornwall or Devon. It was bloody brilliant. And this one, Shell Grotto, is an ornament subterranean passage, Shell Grotto in Margate in Kent. Almost all of the surface of the walls are covered in mosaics created entirely of seashells. Totaling in about 2,000 square feet of mosaic. That's 4.6 million shells. Was discovered in 1835, but the age and purpose remain unknown. I thought that was interesting. Remain unknown. Why is that? And they got an oculus. So I'm thinking this is some sort of technology. Maybe the shells. Maybe they're power shells or something. Look at that. And it looks very much like, the first time I saw it, I thought, oh, Christ, are we looking at, catacombs like Paris? I thought they were skulls. And when I magged up, it was like, the shells. And that's how I found this link for this. It's like, wow. Shells return ions to the ether. Is that what's going on, Q Essence? That would be interesting to find out. Definitely think I'm missing out on another tech here. So what are shells made of? And it's not calcite, is it, as such? Don't know. Anyway, before we get to some images and stuff, which I'm going to show you, okay? Sorry about any roughness in my presentation, but I'm just trying out a new format, and I think it's all right. I'm happy. Anyway, this is an old book, and I was going through last night. I thought the context is absolutely fantastic, because basically what they're saying with this book, guys, and I'll link up below after the show, from 1836 is, our stuff is shit now compared to what it was. Contrasts are a parallel between noble edifices of the 14th and 15th centuries and similar buildings of the present day, shewing the present decay of taste. Okay, so they've basically they're saying that they've lost all taste from the Greco-Romano or the Gothic architecture of old. And to give you some examples, what you won't see is any graveyards, and you will not see any graveyards as such. So anyway, there are some fantastic pics in there, but they are a little bit later on. But I thought that was an interesting context, because they were telling you basically they can't build anymore like they used to be able to. They're just shit. And they can't replicate this stuff, this sacred science, this sacred geometric science. So I thought that was an interesting book. There's going to be lots of clues in it, and I'll link it up in the descriptions box below. Let's look at some oddities and wonder what's going on with the world. But these first. Now, is it possible? This is actually a real thing. You'll find this in Dubai. They've got palm trees as well. So it's all made from sand, and it's been packed down in the ocean, and they've literally made an entire other earth. People can live on this bit or this bit, and you can build a house and there's streets and what have you. So if they did it on a small scale, or if they could do it on a bigger scale, and the one we're living in, obviously not looking like this, is exactly the case. And with the Kawawashi map that shows all the continents, everything outside, is this what's happening? That they've been taking the land away from us and making other continents outside? Who knows? Anyway, a warning. Pharmaceuticals, okay, was known as to be practice of witchcraft using poison medicines. So be warned, because I think the clue is in the word pharmacy, because it says pharmacy. So just saying, don't take pharmaceutical drugs. Hi Brazil, is that another way through? Would you believe, once upon a time, Lee Flat Earth British actually sent me a photograph of Hi Brazil. I wish I still had that photograph now, because Hi Brazil, as far as I know, is not there in the present day. So it's off a Western Island, occupied by big black bunny rabbits and a sage that sits in the middle, all on his own. Is it there, or is it another one of these cloaked affairs that everything just sails past and never knows it's there, and only either comes apparent when you're on a specific frequency or specific times of the year. There it is. Hi, Brazil. Posted about it many times, probably 4 years ago now, on the Celtic Tartarian channel. There's another one here, Dima. As far as I know, Dima is not there in one day as well. So 2 big lands. So there's a lot of land that's not there anymore. That they've gone through deluge, or are they really there? I don't think it's back to cartography. I could show you maps where it just, how is it that every single map maker, no matter what country they're in, they all cartography, Hyperborean, and lands down below? What, are they all like talking to one another through Skype back then and just working out all the schematics and all of the cartography? No, they're all saying the same flipping thing. So, next image, what you're seeing here is circuit board cities. This thing down here is Palmyra, and what you got here is Monday Circuit, which talked about flat Earth British. Evidence that antiquity was also harnessing circuit board cities. What are they computating? Reality, probably. Now, this came from Robert Bassano, who is hopefully in my chat still right now. And I love this thought, and I've been thinking about it quite a bit. I love some more evidence for this to support this this theory, which is a hypothesis at the moment, but I really like it. If there was a giant deluge, would it be safer to go underground, where the possibility of it filling up? Would it be safer on the sea, possibility of being capsized and dying? Would it be safe on the land? No, because you're going to get washed away and die. So is the possibility of being high up on a mountain? Well, no, not really. If it's a couple of mile high wave, nothing. It's like that. What if you were up in a balloon? Would you survive a deluge up in a balloon? I think yes. So what would be the best thing for Noah and Noah in his flood, I reckon, for Ark to be in the sky? Was Noah's Ark a balloon? And did they take to the air during the last reset? Maybe you could tether off and just stay there. And, these things could stay up a long, long time, guys. Yeah. And we know how big they can be. So was Noah's Ark actually a balloon? Does it make sense? And there's the Cardiff Giant. He looks completely different. I posted about him also this week on the Fat Earth British Think Tank channel. Said to be a hoax, but I actually think that one of them were possibly the hoax concerning Barnum, etc. But I think it was a psyop to get everyone to stop thinking about fossilized giants that have been dug up all over America as they were digging the mud out at this period. The photograph you see here is actually 1930s Venice Beach in LA. Although somebody posted 2 days ago on Venice Beach in LA, and they were the only people on that beach, which I find fascinating. Nobody would even go out anymore, not even to the beach. It's not a strange affair. So I posted this morning on my community page. Dear fellow humans, we are being held captive and nobody wants to admit it. We have to do something. And the best thing we can come up with for the most powerful of us to create a different reality is using water consciousness techniques, which we've been talking about for a couple of months now. You are water, so you may be affected by this. Do not be alarmed if you suddenly feel strange or out of body. That is you just pulling away into your new place. And I think this is a reality. So I'm not sure what to say about that. It just seems like a key in the landscape, a key-shaped island, but also a key like underneath it. It's a really strange thing. Maybe that's a key. So some old maps of America land, which will show you most of America missing. I'm thinking this is really early. I can't really get the date. That's the date there. But that must be California Island. Okay. And these must be just all islandlets left. And the water hasn't receded yet. I can't imagine that being Hawaii, because Hawaii doesn't exactly look like that. It's not the size of that. It's just dots. And again, where we just looked at Antarctica, it looks completely different down here than it did on Google. It's just a big, flatter place altogether. But yeah, I think a lot of America is still underwater at that stage. And just an old picture here. And I'm just wondering what this giant aerial is here for. What that does. And they got some boxes there, I'm guessing that's for telecommunications, but they seem really large and elaborate. Such a ship wouldn't pull. Now, you can find El Dorado hidden on maps. They're not in many places, but there are one or two. So what we got here is a map of well, there's Trinidad. Just get yourself bearings. And you come down a bit down the coast. And what you find here is Manu o El Dorado. Okay, and this green place and this giant lake. So this is, covered by mountain ranges, not dissimilar to the story of the Hyperborean, but you can find it on maps. This is El Dorado, what they say. In South America, people have gone searching for it 100 years ago. So I guess a few of you seen this. I know UAP's talked about him. I talked about him years ago. I did a post on him in his giant crowns. Father Crespi, who lived in South America, in Ecuador, and he was a friend to the community. And they brought him stuff out of the jungle from different civilizations, even Mesopotamian stuff, which proved there was only one civilization back then, Phoenicians. And he's got like giant crowns, and people said it was from this place of El Dorado, hidden in the jungle. Some of these plates, Sanskrit, they say, and some of them have high tech in them that glow up under ultraviolet light, etc. And these gold information plates can be akin to Sanskrit, they say, and they're in Ecuador. And gold, well, I guess this is a cartouche or whatever, but it's a gold tablet. And again, it's the same old Mesopotamians with a handbag, giant inky, if you like, and the little guy, and the star, and the sun. I mean, but it's exactly what you get in Middle Eastern culture, and there it is in South America, and a giant silver guitar. It can only be played really by a giant, but who even knows? So 594 of you watching, thanks for that. No, I've always wondered about these. I've been looking for them for a few years now, okay, and they're supposed to be holographic projections, but they're supposed to be akin to the psychic world, as in like television was invented by John Logie Beard because he was a spiritualist, and so was his wife, for the purpose of connecting with the afterlife, the other worlds, the other realms, or with what some people might regard as dead people, which might be just looped recordings caught in the matrix, people's experiences, etc. Houses, anywhere where I live, and I smudge to get the energies of the previous occupants out of there. So it's just specifically my energy. I just think that these things got far too much tech going on for just a bog standard fake hoax photography. But who knows? Now, about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I posted that the Sahara Desert was once full of green trees, and literally this week, secret history, etc. What happened to the mysterious humans of the Sahara 7,000 years ago? And they're also saying, this has just been released as well, changing their narrative. Okay, that there was this happened dramatically. Yeah, no shit. I posted about this 2 years ago. It was made to turn dust. But they said it happened dramatically, burnt into the ground. And Sahara went from green to a desert in a flash. No shit. There was a civilization there, and it got flashed, okay, and turned to dust, which is why you get dust storms, okay. But it was green, and they're now starting to admit it as well, changing their narrative. 5,000 years ago, Sahara Desert was home to people, animals, and lush vegetation. I'd say a lot less than that. And not only that, they're also saying that there's literally 10 million trees in the Sahara. Well, that's dead. Ancient river network discovered buried under Sahara sand. So from when it was an ancient civilization, not that long ago. Ancient mega lake discovered beneath Sahara Desert. I wonder if that's the one Gaddafi once tapped into, that he give all of his lovely people free water because they all love the dude. And the Americans blew it up. and thought, no, fuck you, you ain't having free water. That's what happened. Look into it. People, these people absolutely adored him, and he was, as far as I know, super fantastic to them. But now Tripoli is an ex-city, as much of Libya is. Anyway, Sahara Desert was once a lush and populated. So that giant lake that would have once been I guess that's Lake Chad, which is now just a dot. So they were from my last post. Excuse me, let's just get out of there. Now, excuse me, I'll show you some oddities, which I collected earlier. So, rain. Let's think about rain. And then I'll just get some more images on the go. Now, that's a cloud, right? Now, I seen once, years ago, a puff call, a little cloud, about as little as that, and it started flashing lightning, and then it did that. Just dumped all its water all in one go. I thought it was the most unusual thing going. There are different types of rain, aren't there? You get that light dusty stuff, you get massive big raindrops, and it's fantastical. There's supposed to be a thing called gravity. But yet you get these clouds. Apparently this little cloud holds all of these thousands of tons of water. I'm wondering if some of the water, okay, now I know I see planes going through rain clouds and it looks like rain, it's in the screen, they're going through evaporated water, yes, but I'm thinking because of the amount of water that comes out of that cloud or these clouds, if there was some sort of interaction as the droplets were falling smaller, that they captured the water that was already in the air, because I just can't get over all that water dropping out of that one little cloud. And I've seen it and I witnessed it and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, how is that all up there? And what about gravity? How can you get 1 billion tons of rain just suspended above your head in a cloud, floating up around? Sometimes it doesn't even drop at all, does it? It just stays there. So, odd stuff. Information is in the water. So, it could be a face. I think it's a face, but it looks like a melted ancient civilization. We do like to look at these. 600 of you watching. Yay, super fantastic. Happy Flatterday to all. Hope everyone's happy. We got some funny stuff coming up. In a specific, not giving that mood, which is an epic thing for all of you guys. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy. Thanks, guys. Much love to you all. Peace and love. And don't, the community here, right? This is one of the most fucking awesome, most loving communities I've ever had, ever encountered in my life. I never knew there was such things. But, it's at this time, this weird time, what we got coming, all this uncertainty, I think we should all be there for one another, keep one another strong and hold one another up through whatever is to come. Okay, guys, I think it's imperative. It's safety in numbers, and this community is special. Everyone knows it who's here, guys. Okay, so let's preserve that. So this is a rock glyph, and you'll find it in Inkerman Pass in Crimea from another ancient civilization, a mother and child. I don't know. This is why they're called oddities. I think that's a real thing. I think they were probably like clone soldiers or robot soldiers, like Wurzel Gummidge. And just take off your head, which would be awesome because you could get like, I'm gonna put my happy head on today, just put your happy head on rather than your, I don't know, in between not happy head. You know what I mean? I don't know. The world is strange. So that's from the great culture of Tartarian buildings. Only a short time later, they occupied probably 30, 20 people there. I hope they're not all living in that big pile of shit. I think they are, I think they are. They look happy and healthy enough. I think they could be doing a lot better. There might be a really good organic lifestyle, but, let's be honest, they're living in a peat house. I bet it's lovely and warm, though. I don't know, they look happy enough. Are they all one family? Christ, lady, how many kids did you have? Hang on, there might be others having all these kids, and that's adult. Wow. I reckon it's all one family. Jeez. They're big families in the past, didn't they? So I used to do this. It's a deadly old job. Okay, trimming or getting the cargo out of the hold. I'm guessing that's oil barrels. Deadly game, deadly game. They come down and drop on your head. Them hooks just hook on, and they do slip off, especially on the oil barrels. They come down, and you're going to get an oil barrel or 45 gallon of oil straight in your face. Obviously, it never happened to me, but it nearly fucking did. It's deadly down the hold. How many times I've nearly been killed down there? It's hard to even imagine. I don't know. Is it hair? It's getting trippy, isn't it? I think it might be just, you know, the things they put around their neck in the medieval era. But is it for looks and aesthetics? Or is it, Niven? Or is it a tech? Because it's goddamn weird, isn't it, guys? But they dress beautifully. You've noticed how all traditional clothes are the same no matter where you are? Because there was one type of person. Well, obviously that drawing could have been drawn by a child in school in 1970. I do not know, but what it shows is little people shooting at a giant that's coming after them. So it's supposed to be from antiquity. I do not know. But one's hit him straight in the face, so cracking little shot by the little guy. I like that. So we see these everywhere. I counted some of these this summer. A fantastic time going to these beaches and stuff, witnessing these things, and they're just buried in mud and what looks like dressed, cornered, coined stone. Are they a geographical anomaly or are they a real thing? Cannonballs. Or if you electrified a cannonball so that it was zinging with electric, is that even possible? Would it do something more if it was an highly electrified ball, and the ball didn't do nothing at all, but the combustive blast of the connective energy of the electric? I was wondering, is that what it is? That the cannons are charging batteries, and these are electrified, and then they hit a building. So it is feasible. It is feasible. This is World War II. How to protect your church. I think this is Amiens, but it appears to be a lithograph. I'm not sure. But if a bomb does hit it, then it's not all going to come cascading in. So a really, really good use of sandbags and breathing holes for them. So that was good. So that apparently happened in World War II. How to keep your shit safe. Magnetic cannons, Niven. Yeah. Well, look at the shape of them and that. They look like, some of them look like they get spin at an incredible velocity. So what if that was it too? That they were electrified, spun, maybe a bit of rifling going on. Imagine that ball coming out with kinetic energy, electrified, the damage it could do. It'd be tenfold what a normal box standard cannon could do. So, sundogs. I take these photographs myself. I got two in my collection, but there's an inverted sundog here. It's easy to see what we're seeing here, guys. We're seeing light captured from the dome, but more from the electromagnetics of this place. 4 angels are pulling on it as well. You can see it here. Can you see this disturbance here and here? Well, if you look closely, you can actually see a ring, which is just like a magnetic declination or propagation sort of ring. So that's what I think's going on there, and even there as well. They got the inverted though. I think they're excellent proof for the do. So there's hundreds of star forts, all left in the landscape. Some of them have disappeared, some of them have fallen into the sea and left, but you can just see, just left to rack and ruin, a cracking little star fort. Geometric shape. It's a shame, but not all are reused, guys. Some are just left. Whoa, I got massive high-pitched sound in my ear. No shit. Hang on. 616 you watching. Epic fantastic. Do share this out, please, peeps. Like I said, we have Epic Flatterday night around here. You're part of it. Get some people over so they can have some fun too. So, these guys are basically drilling this guy's brain, Brian, out, who's giant, with what looks like maybe they're doing a bit of trapping in on the giant, but is that flames? He's like, oh, but they could be getting to his mind's eye. He fell asleep and they tried to get his mind's eye out, so he's not so psychic and work out when they're sneaking up on him. This is an old Renaissance painting, but it's fabulously worn. No, not fabulously, terribly worn. And all of this bit's missing, which is a shame, because what it's actually showing, if you look at this guy here, is he's grabbing a giant's leg. And that is about the size of a giant I'd expect to think of, guys, isn't it? This size. But the rest of it, I think someone's prodding the giant maybe, but the rest of the image is gone. Isn't that unfortunate? I think they're hiding something from us rather than wear and tear from the centuries, because the rest of the Renaissance art is well in situ and has lasted 2 resets in their vaults and all the wars. So, yeah, Dragon a Giant, pretty good. Excuse me. Have you ever seen a superconductor? Have you ever seen the conductors on pylons that rip across the countryside? Yes, I know you have, haven't you? And do they look like exactly like that? And do they look exactly like these? These look like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of superconductors on top of a big one. This thing probably could hold a charge in the modern day. This thing is a power station that holds vast amounts of electricity, or it did in antiquity. Check it out. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? All in plain sight, guys. Cryptids. So, is this Zaphod Beetlebrox? I do not know, but this guy was supposed to be born with 2 heads. I'm not sure if they were a real thing, if it's a fake, but there's pictures of it online, and they say it's a real thing. Could be a bog body, the way it's stretched and stuff. But man with 2 heads? Who even knows? 2 Bryans. 2 Bryans are better than 1. So this is in Wales, and it's a place that I've been to and love. And actually, there was a waterfall there. I did go under a waterfall in that place. No, I think about it. But it's the perfect sign for reset. It's called Devil's Bridge. The tale is that there was a lady this side, and she wanted to build a bridge. So I'm guessing it's the first one, maybe down here. And the devil, buffeted up and said, okay, I'll do a deal with you. I'll put a bridge there, but I want the soul of the first thing that crosses the bridge. She said, all right, then you got a deal. So he built the bridge, and she went into the field, grabbed a cow, and sent him across the bridge. So conning the devil, because he had to take the cow's soul. So I'm guessing that's the first one. And then they've put a later one there with the wrought iron. And then there's another one directly above them. So all the ages have reset, all in one bridge. Devil's Bridge in, I think it's Pembrokeshire in Wales, near Lampeter. So are they really, really doing this? She's looking directly at the camera. Is it overexposure, double exposure? Maybe something going on, I don't know. But why all of this technology at this period? These are valves, by the way. These are giant valves. And this is a late Victorian image. What are they thinking? And why, in heaven's name, are they a projector before the age of apparent cinema? Projecting an image of what looks like a ghostly child. Is it a real thing? Why the technology? Finding that technology very interesting to look at. This one also. Is this a television of the day? Don't look at the kid. It will scar your mind and you won't feel well for days. Don't look at it. It's not real. It's in your imagination. Just ignore that. Ignore that. So what about this? That's a bit of trombone. Oh, I don't know about that image there. But is this television in the Victorian era? Yeah, that's the creepiest kid I've ever seen. No, it's not. It's creepier. What about this one? He's looking directly at you. The rest of the body don't look right at all. But look at the tech. Look at the tech. What were they thinking? If it was, all I'm just saying, guys, is if this is a form of fakery, why did they make so much effort? And before you had petrol cars, they were electric. They were electric all the way back as far as I can see. I've seen electric cars in the 1870s, and this lady, plug her in, charge her up, drive her away, quiet, pollutionless, And that looks like a nice little car, that too. It's even got a roof on if it rains. Ka-ching. Electric. Here's more of this, look. I don't know why they choose to have the spookiest looking humans ever. Is that a priest? Oh, Christ, not. It's a woman. Oh, God, that's hard on the eyes. He's like, I don't want to do this. That's a cooker. And that's flames. Yeah, it might be a school of just messing with the spiritual realm, but aren't they fucking trippy? Oh, I've seen that one. What, that one? Look at this tech. And he seems to be not really looking at her. He seems to be looking at that. And he's doing the old Freemasonic hand thingy. I noticed one doing it earlier. But it is intriguing. That's a Singer sewing machine base. So he's improvised a Singer sewing machine. With some sort of valve. Oh, I don't know. That is crazy. But it is a Singer sewing machine. So, what about that one? So there's a lot of thought gone into these pods to project people for photography, don't you think? This one's a plant one with candles. Oh, you really improvised. No, I think the bow goes on the back of the dress. Yeah? Didn't your mother tell you? Look at this. Spooky and haunting, though. Let's look at the happy hair. Okay. This one, this guy, looks like he's pooed himself, can only muster a hand. Look, magnets. And loads of magnets. All right. It looks like he's had a lobotomy. And robots as well in the Victorian era. I'm not sure if this is for underwater or this guy I just knocked up a robot this week to help me carry my stuff in my barn. And keeping it away from the world. You know, my Robbie the Robot thing. That could happen, guys. You could just have a genius farmer in America that built himself a robot, kept it from the rest of the world. The grew sentient. Like Lost in Space, but not really. This guy's horny. Something definitely off with this. Do you think this is a real thing? Do you think people were born with horns? Yeah? Maybe. Danger, Will Robinson. Haha, my pieman. And strange winkle picker footwear for knights. I'm trying to work out what would happen with these. You know, they catch on everything, wouldn't they? What if you was to kick somebody? You couldn't even kick somebody. You'd have to kick down, wouldn't you? Now, if they were going up, they'd be fucking epic. Then you could do some serious damage. But with them, I don't know what to think. They look Constantine at you, like they go up and down. I don't know. They hurt my Brian to look at them. So look at this Phoenician helmet. Something fits in the top of there. It's like a hole. Two Phoenician ladies laying down. Let's have a look. And I feel there might have been a jewel there instead of just a blob of nothing. Got the shells going on. So what was the Phoenician shells? Are we missing something with the shells? You know, I thought it was just to do with, like, you know, the female form. But it's not, is it? It might be a tech. Look at this horse here, guys. How to keep your ears warm on the battlefield. I'd scare the shit out of the enemy. It's pipe. Yeah, soldier. Check that out, though, for breastplate. And as I will show in this post, chainmail can be used for electromagnetic protection. So I'm guessing they were covering their horses too. Look at the size of this thing. These are people. Obviously, this is steam powered, and there's a guy who sits in this chair, but this is literally maybe 15 foot high. These are massive wheels. And they're these things called shadow bangs like this, guys, which might literally 50 people could get in the back of. They don't have them anymore. They used to have them like jalopies that everyone could climb in. When I was a kid, they used to go down the beach with them. Like 50 people. So here you are. I don't know why a cloud has got a pipe coming out of it and is shooting stuff at this knight. And this knight has been blinded by it because it's bounced off of this knight's chest. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do know that chainmail gives you, even in the modern day, because you can buy it online, electromagnetic protection. There it is. So yeah, you can imagine your electromagnetic weapons on the medieval battlefield, not swords and not trebuchets chucking rotten cows at castles. We're looking at a little bit more advanced than that. So yeah, chainmail definitely works if you're zapped by electric. She's super fantastic. Fine, guys. She's not frying at all. Coins found in solidified mud. I'm not sure if that's, I thought it was a bone. So the date on it is 1744. That was the year of the Great Comet. And there is a coin from the year of the Great Comet stuck in some sort of mud. That might have been a really bad event, you know, guys. So dynamo technology. Often talk about, it is a kid to free energy. I used to have dynamos on my bicycle when I was a kid. They are fantastic, and they are a key to getting energy cheap and free. Now, these Van de Graaff generators are generating electricity, and they're driving it back to a flywheel, and the flywheel is driven, probably magnets at the top. This seems sort of free energy device of some sort, but it is based on this dynamo that's making really big amounts of electricity. But like in that book that I just tried to narrate to you, they were using electricity to power that city, and that book was in 1839, you know. So a conversation that came up in with Richard Lopez and Robert Bassano recently was rails in buildings, or balustrades, or handrails on stairs, and some of them don't exhibit like giant size, but some of them do. So these are balustrades on a roof. Can you imagine this might just come up to a giant's waist? Yeah, because they really are big, aren't they? So giant balustrades definitely are a thing. We've seen quite a few of these in our time. I don't know, but whatever it was, they weren't allowing her to see it or hear it. I can't imagine what's going on. It's a bit like Bird Box, isn't it? Why would they bury her like that? Send her to the afterlife. So she's lost in limbo and can't find the ferryman, maybe. I don't know. So, in this narrative for David and Goliath, David's outside, or Goliath's outside a star fort, then in the Middle Ages with a load of Antiquitechs behind them. Okay. David is going to slew him with a stone. Why has he got water leaking out of his side? Well, I'm guessing it's David and Goliath. It looks Goliath-y. He's not doing too well, and he's pissing water out of his side. So again, with the seashells, is this a technology? Well, then things sticking out. Did they grab or interact with the ether? You know, the way like feathers do, or hairs on feathers, or hairs on animals, or hairs on us. Our hairs on us interact with the electricity. This is why when I get shivers on my hairs standing up on my head, on my hands. You know, I have goose pimples on goose pimples, guys, sometimes, all day, 7 days. I'm a very busy person. So I think that might be a technology, you know, guys. So 625 you watching. Make sure to share this out. We can get a super fantastic crowd together. So I don't know if that's made of jade, but it's definitely buried in the mud. So something Lee Flat of British has been thinking about as well is, we got a little something to tell you all this week, but we have been thinking about with the Phoenicians of water, the Tartarians are oil, and oil and water are non-water, well, oil's non-water soluble. The thing, both don't mix, do they, at all? So were the Tartarians turned to tar? Are they in tar pits? They find bones in tar pits. They say that they are dinosaurs, but there's no such thing as dinosaurs. So could they be bones of giants? Late 1800s colour photograph. This guy's obviously Colosseum, self-explanatory. It's all mud and it's all shit everywhere. There's no roads like there is today, or them carts and horses to take you for a little trip, or the ice cream thing. Not 100 years ago, what was there? Zip. All of that was relatively recent, guys. Another one of those spooky things. Excuse me. Okay, done then. Let's move out. Whew, I thought I had more images than that, but don't worry. Olaf post. So, More images. Now, this is a Tartarian lady, and they got them 3 energy things in the background, as you can see, and everything outside here is just like balls of mud, isn't it? It's rubbish, isn't it? Can't mow that, can you? It's all inundated. But they do seem to have electric light bulbs on top of one of these bandstand things. So maybe at one stage they would have had lighting on top. I think that might be a clue, because it's certainly an electric light and not a gas filament. So that's nice, isn't it? So if you're going to build high. Obviously, it's a fantasy picture, but because you'll think, thought for how this civilization was back in the past. And the Arab world. Now, I was going to play some music and show you some fantastic Arab images. Isn't they big on colour? Really got a feel for the Arab style for some reason. And this is when they found Karnak. It's supposed to be Egypt. We got Greco-Roman columns. It's like they just got there. Look at the immense size. This place is for giants. They must be thinking it. This must be the place for giants. I think so. It's too big. How did they build this? Yeah, indeed. How did they build this? This can't be replicated. One day. So there's Rome after a mud flood. They did build bunkers, though. You see these everywhere in all these images. You see these, see that little bunker. So a lot of people got out into the tunnel systems underneath and survived, I guess. But the rest of the Greco-Roman world completely destroyed. Arabs, Tartars, Joy, I would say so. Now, I've seen this image before. I'm not sure if it's actually a fake. All right, it's a hazy day and the Great Expositions in Paris, and you've got this balloon going over, but nobody's taking any flipping notice. Anybody actually looking at? Maybe them two. Nobody else seems to be really interested. Maybe they see balloons all the time. What a messed up picture, that vanilla sky. Seems to be hiding so much. Except the balloon and the people not looking at it. Really weird. Right, let's have a look at this. So we got a fleet coming in. Let's have a look. Clues, 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 clues. Okay. They have assistance from angel beings. That's handy. That is handy. So somebody said to me in my comments, but they're not willing to verify if this is a fact, that I'm to be visited by Archangel Uriel. So I don't even know why I acknowledge that comment, but it seems like I was like, yeah, I think I might be actually. So it's like, as you said, I like all the comments I read here. I had a massive buzz on. So I don't know exactly what to think about the 4 angels. I've got a 4 angels orgonite pyramid, which has Uriel on that. So yeah, as you can see here, in the Ark of Noe, which is not an ark, it is a house with dormers that floats. House with dormers that floats in this map. And it's in, well, there's Albania. So I'm guessing this is the Caspian Sea. Albania. I'd have to turn the map around. That'd be the Mediterranean. It's Albania. Albania's on the Adriatic and is not east coasted. So Albania must have been a much bigger country, is all I can think of. I've been to Albania, a place called Durrës in the communist days. They wouldn't let me ashore, so I had to climb over the railings. And then some guy told me I'd be off to the gulag and shot if they catch you. It's like, yeah, whatever. Obviously, I don't take no notice, like I do now. So Oxford hasn't changed one iota. 1810, right? So this is the year before all the shit went down of the reset of 1811. Okay, they're already mud flooded here, guys. Yeah, see this? Okay, I've walked on this street a few times, and it mud flooded. Hasn't changed a day. Not in that map. Maybe how many steps there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Any steps on that door? Actually, no, I don't think there is. No, I don't think there is 4 steps. Hang on. Let's have a look. So there's that window there. Stairs going up there, but they're not there. Ah, that's interesting. No stairs there. Stairs there. Stairs there. And straight in there. Oh, that is interesting. The stairs are gone. Ah. Yeah, the stairs are gone. I don't know if this window here, the height, let's check the height. And then there's this line here. You got the line there. And then it's all this rough stuff. So they're going to same amount of floors. Oh, that's interesting. Not changed too much, Oxford. Hotel Tartaria. Now, I'm not sure if this is a real place at all, but it's red brick. And it looks like Tartaria, and it's actually called Tartaria Hotel. I love it. I'll go there. I want to have the key to Tartarian Hotel. So this is how they lived in the beautiful old days, guys. So they had this fantastical heater, probably radium heated. And I don't know what these sort of blob things do, but they got to augment heat in some way, guys. It's a beautiful crockery. And look at these paintings on their panels of these gentlemen here. And look how nice they got their shit, guys. That'd be a pleasure to be sitting there in the morning, reading the newspaper, huh? Or whatever they did in them days. Yeah, I love that place. Yeah, that is fantastic. Yeah, they got it going on. So yeah, that's not actually India, but they have got a stupa here in what looks like Omsk, or no, that is Odessa. No, I don't know what that is. But they got one of them stupas in a red brick star fort with a strange pyramidal column here, and here as well. Strange, massive stupas for collecting energy. Fantastic, that one. And gold, people were saying about gold necklaces, gold brooches, and gold breastplates being a technology and interacting with the human body inside. And so, you know, creating a way of existence. Certain jewelry do certain things. Bands on arms, bands on wrists, necklaces. If you wore a big jewel on your forehead, like some ladies do, that would certainly have an impact, guys, on your pineal gland. No doubt about it. Omsk, thank you, Alex. I thought it was Omsk. Cheers, my brother. And here's some tech inside what are a ruined building, as you can see. All of the caging for energy collecting, even the cables still in situ. Everything's still there for the technology. All visible now because the stone's gone and all covering. Antiquitech. Right, let's have. Oh, I love this photo. Let's have a little nose down the old world. Wow, that is so grotty. So, what is it going to show us? Nothing except for some curious people. Still, I like it. I like the colour. Look at these railings on this building. There's nothing going on in there. Wonder what that was. Spooky somebody feeling of some of these. Look at this building. It just comes to an abrupt end and then everything else is missing. Huge bunko booth. Strange, isn't it? It must have at least come out here somewhere. It's gone now. Weird. So, the reason they had big doors is because there were bigger people. For sure. I'm not saying he's not like, 6 foot, but 6 foot would be there, 8 foot, 10 foot, something like that. And you see this with all doors. But that's a nice little shop. That's Frederick there, doing a little teapot on his front door with his fuzzy beard with food court in it. He might not have food court in it. That was really unpleasant of me. Stop doing that. Anyway, why did they put these geometric, like an all-seeing eye, and another strange sigil thing here in the green of a church when it can only be seen from above? I wonder what they mean. I wonder what they mean, guys. Really cute. I've seen this quite a bit in the same on the Statue of Liberty as well. Anomalous markings with stars and what look like stuff from the Nazca lines. You know, what is this exactly? Anyway, a curiosity is what it is, Matt. So, why in some cities are all fully electric with trams? They were the first thing to come along, apparently. Okay, no reality. But then they say that a lot of them were pulled by horses, which were just dragging full of people and about 10 ton of tram or whatever, a couple of ton of tram. Do you buy in that? It's a really strange thing, guys. A dog's barking at that horse. But anyway, this church, right, guys, apart from the obvious massiveness of its window, have you noticed something? They've built all the houses. You see this a lot in older depictions as well. They built all the houses next to it, adjacent to it, or fixed to it, the buildings themselves. I can't help thinking this is to feel the benefit of the technosmia this thing would have produced in the past, or vibration. But, you know, they didn't care about the aesthetics of the church and keeping it clear, and all of these buildings all the way around it. Thought that was really unusual. Patisserie, confectionaries. So I'm guessing this is a pleasant Tartarian couple. They look very, very nice people indeed. And beautifully attired. That's what they were like in the past. I like this shot because it shows meltage, but it shows the anomalous pieces of architecture have all been sort of mixed up somehow. You know, is this somebody just gone crazy laying? Just chuck that bit in there, these bits of stone. Now, I've worked on stonemasonry. This is the shittest ever. You could do something fantastic with this, but no. Just crap. Looks melted. Column top. Phoenician flowers. All with what looks like melted stone. So what's going on there? What is going on there? Is somebody reproduced the bottom bit and then just chucked all the other stuff on top? It's hard to even describe. So happy Flatterday 600 watching. Woohoo! Flatterday people. You know where it rocks. Yeah, man, listen, we don't do that crazy shit, yeah? We are the last bastion of sanity left on the plane. I guess you didn't know. So there it is. There this thing. So looks Roman. You got the Roman column in there. Bit of red brick supportive. But what the hell with this? Seems strange filler, doesn't it, guys? Yeah, I'd really like to see that place closely and try to, you know, find out what the hell's going on. Yeah. This thing. And looking at the building, looks like Russia or something. Doesn't feel like Britain. But red brick, what looks like Phoenicia. Or did they just build a wall quick with the remains of the shattered Greco-Roman world? Yeah, it might have been. Might have been really quick, because that's crap. Really put together shoddily. So, the alchemical worlds of the dog family. I think they're dogs, not sure. Dog head. Dog head. So the hairy dog heads, and they got the little dog head kid maybe. So apparently this is a normal thing back then, guys, that they had dog head families. We see a lot of these. They may have been like really pleasant, as long as you don't say to like Mr. Dog, "Oi mate, your wife's a dog," because you might get a punch in the head. So here's a whole lot of dogs, yeah? Whole lot of dogs. It's a dog Barbaria. Looking good. Yeah, you're looking good enough for cruts, mate. Looking good enough for cruts. And we have dog shapes. They're dragging him in. He don't want to go. I don't blame him either. Blame him. They got weird legs and all these dog people, haven't they? Like really strange, hairy legs. Yeah, you won't be needing that leg. We're going to saw it off. He's going to have his leg sawn off as well. Makes sense. You won't be needing that eye going. No, that's a dentist. Just pull that fucker out. What's they going to do to him? Oh, bloodletting. Squirt, squirt, squirt. And the monkey's clapping. Might not be a monkey. Might be a baby dog head. So, who knew, guys? Who knew? A day out with the dog heads. Yeah, and they all had all of their stuff in one building as well. You know, like the hairdressers, the bloodletting, the And I'll show what they're doing to him. Got one hand on his throat and one hand on his head. Might be doing a psychic reading. That one's looking a bit goaty. Bit goaty. What say you, Earth people? Scooby-Doo town. It's all about the insurance he wants to land, you know. The anomalous M. What does it mean? Is it Medici? Is it something else more mystical? I do not know, but here it appears in the Arabic world, and it built a building out of the M that we see all over antiquity. This is two M's, M and M, obviously, 33, obviously, and a rap star as well. Coinkydink? I think not. Behold my electric light. So, yeah, he seems pretty fucking impressed, doesn't he? So he's looking at the instruction booklet, because obviously they never had anything like that. I got the information. Where did you get the information to build such a thing? From up there. Who lives up there? See what I mean? Advanced techage. Advanced techage. Given to the papal dudes. So, yeah. Fireplaces and special anderons. So this is a fireplace design with Phoenician anderons. Do you really put wood in there? Not so sure anymore. Some of them look steam heat, like heat plates. So some keys are fantastic. We've been looking at some keys as well. They're really ornamental. I don't know what this is. I think it might be a handbag laser tech steampunk thing from the past. Anybody's welcome to make a suggestion of what this could be. Answers on a postcard. It can't be a pillow because you would, you know, hurt yourself in the night. Could it be a musical instrument? What do you think, guys? Let me know in comments. A magic bag. Maybe it's a pocket universe. Maybe I could just reach my arm out and pull out something like epic. I don't know. A Sherman tank. Something like that. Why do I think a Sherman tank? What would I do with a Sherman tank? Great fun with a Sherman tank. And look how many key, you know, for the amount of things on there. You know, I've only got 2 on my key, but back in the past, you had what, this many for the lock. Just fantastical locks. They must have had mechanisms. It must have been hard to pick. I'm afraid I don't know what it is, but I think it's a timepiece with walking things. But it looked dead pretty, and I do like things that are exquisite to look at, which is why I'm showing them. Another strange key. Look at that thing. Does have to fit really precisely then. And hard to copy, I should imagine. So, I think this is dynamo electricity again, or some sort of electrical device. Can't give you a name on it, but it looks really early. But again, 2 flywheels. I'm not sure if this is steam related, because there seems to be some sort of cocks here. But I have seen this sort of thing before, and I think they are producing maybe energy from electricity, okay, or EM electricity maybe, from steam. I've seen that in one of these sort of devices. I couldn't imagine what this thing does. But it is a wonder to behold. What do you think? What do you think? And fantastical clocks. If that's what this is, probably not. What does it do? I'm afraid I don't know that one. So some sort of astronomical clock projector. Somebody was saying that Mercury is in retrograde at the moment. I remember when Mercury went in retrograde last year. Shit, that was a weird time. So that might explain a lot, actually. Yeah, look at this. Another again, same as that superconductor thing you've seen on that building. This is some sort of technology. Has to be. Just subtler. And Piranesi artwork of apparently the capital of Rome, but what you see again is heat sinks and motherboards and what looks exactly like Circuit Board City. And even say circus, as in circuit. Faming circuits. Everything connects with the electricity. What about your porter? They always say portals a lot as well. Port, portals. Tech guys? I think so. 4 angels. Again. That looks really cool. Energy device. So, would you disagree there was a mud flood here in Rome? Because this building's buried all the way up to here and everything gets digging out in the 1930s. Sir means round. Oh, yes, I learned that from you, Alex Automagic. And now I see words beginning with CA or CIR, like Cardiff or where I live in Cairo, designates a circle. And I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense because it's based on a fort and the fort was circular. So, yeah, that makes absolutely perfect sense. So, she's offering a deal. She's come in. I don't know what she's got in her hand. Something little white thing. Oh, she got one of those revolting little fucking dogs on her lap. They call it the 2 Chihuahuas. They're not revolting. They're lovely. No dogs are revolting. Except maybe that one. Which he looks unimpressed with. He's squinting. Okay, so she's doing a deal. What do you think? What do you think? Should we do it? Should we do it? Do you think she's going to go for the deal? I wonder what she's selling. Like a little white packet. Highly suspect. But they all seem really intrigued with that white packet. So she's selling some stuff with a magic man. And when they arrive in town, the Phoenicians, they do the usual thing. Okay. The usual. Not giving a fuckness. And anyone else, okay, gets killed and burned to the stake for your entertainment. For some reason, you'd want to watch that. I wouldn't want to watch anyone screaming and burning. It's pathetic. And I think some churches connected with Circuit Board City have outer body conduits. Because these tiles as well, if they're ceramic, which looks like a lot of them are, well, they use ceramics in the electrical industry, don't they, for superconductors, etc. So I think that this is like exterior conduit work you see on a lot of these churches to do with technasmia. Definitely. That's what I think. So what's this angel got? Is a globe, okay, with this like cameo on top. And she's pointing at this globe. But when you look at the globe, it's nowhere I recognize because that is not our Earth, is it? So there's this great sea here and the island in this landmass. I thought first was America, but then that would put Africa here. And this is, if it is America here, okay, then everything else is underwater and gone. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what land we're looking at, and she's pointing at that like as if to say, do you really think this is a reality? Sort of sucky lips thing going on. Like, yeah, whatever type of thing. Playing cards, money, 20-8. So, yeah, fantastic clocks. I collect clocks myself. I really like clocks. So, again, same position as we were on the last photograph. I'd say where that balloon was, looking at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. But check the lion's curls and these lampposts. So 630 odd of you watching. Epic, fantastic. I'm going to come back soon. Have a little chat with you all. Have a chill out. We'll have a little discussion. I'll give you all a few shouts. One love to you, Robin. And then we'll have a look at some funny stuff and do some other stuff. The amazing Flatterday Live Fever. You know what it is? It's an atmosphere. I only feel with Flatterday. It's a unique feeling you only get here. I don't feel it ever unless I'm in flat with Britishness. It's really weird. And so many people get together with some, you know, all like-minded people, all good people as well, which I really dig. I got good friends. Really lovely people. It's like crying. I have them. So an electric car, I found fascinating. How common do you think these were, guys? So basically, there's an electric cable going through the sky, and you know, this little car, they've just hooked up onto the electric cable, so it just tears along the road electrically. I'm just wondering how common they were, which makes you think about some cities with advanced architecture just having horse and cart trams, something off with that. And this is obviously wrecked building, but Pray tell, 1800s, television's not around. They got the telegraph, but this is not telegraph. Massive antennas on that one, massive antennas on this one, and this one, cool, that's got the 5Gs going on. What do you think of that one? Free energy. Technasmia. And look at the size of this guy on the roof compared to it. This is big. You could probably stand in that big there. So what are they doing exactly? Wireless, guys. Wireless technology. And I got that on my t-shirt. Make Tartaria great again. Indeed, indeed. Barbaria, Barbaria. So, is it there? Is it in there somewhere? Well, I've done 100 vlogs, it must be now, on the North Pole, thinking about it. Tartaria's only here, it says Tartar there. Is it ice? I don't think so. Is it water? Some of the way. Could be a damn sight bigger, is what I'm thinking. And that continent could be there. Mount Meru's there. I just instinctively feel it and know it. So look at this on top of this. I think the whole thing is artificial, all right? So the milk, Dagba, still in the jungle grip. Okay, where's this to? Okay, safe from destruction. So the whole thing is one building, is it? It's this hump. Yeah. Trees are gone from it, and then this on the top. You can just see it in your mind's eye how advanced this civilization was. It's just like the most futuristic movie you could imagine. So that is flawless. That is absolutely beautiful. And it's not just because it's a female statue, it actually is really, really beautiful. Wouldn't you say? Yeah, I know. Well, to me, that is really aesthetically pleasing. Oh, stop being me. No, don't stop being me. Nice. So, technology. This is a pillar just fallen on the floor, which looks like it could be like some ray gun from, you know, some Flash Gordon. There's like plates involved in it. Could be more than resonance science with these guys. Each one must do a different sort of resonance, maybe. But wow, what is it? This is a spooky one, a weird one. This is the Hotel Netherlands in New York, right? Obviously 1800s, but this building's like got a big fucking cloud hanging over it. You get the shadow of it stuck on the side there of this, which I find really weird. Really, really spooky picture, I think. But look at that lamppost there with the spikes sticking off. What for? In case someone sits on it? What the fuck is that for? Maybe pigeons. So, this is just down the road from the Dakota. It's the Netherlands Hotel. Typical Tartarian monster building with the arches, the levels, replicated, top heavy, and all the juice on the top, which is what you find with these buildings. Because most of it, as you can see these arches? Yeah, can you imagine the real size of them arches and how much of that building is missing, guys? You can just see it. Look at it there from that perspective. You can see they're half arches, aren't they? Not full arches. So half of it's missing, or more. That's what my eyes see. This is a cool one. So, builders come in as a railway line. Old Tartarian buildings in the background look like mud flutters, but this building, the door is that far up in the air. Look again. That far up in the air. Pray tell, what is going on? Why is the door all the way up in the air? What did they take away? It's just crazy, isn't it? And this one, another mud flooder. There's a little farmhouse out in the field, but in their field, down below, is an old building, civilization. A bit like the Texas Wall, which some say is a hoax. I do not. That's pretty cool. Stairs missing. Oh, yeah, true. So I'm not sure, but there's people doing parachute jumps in the back. But I thought it was like really cheeky statue, so I thought I'll show you. Cheeky. These two in Holland, and they have national costume, which looks like any other country, but they have got clogs on. So I got thinking about clogs. human batteries. And when you get home, you discharge because your house is earthed, and it could be extracting electricity into the electricity grid because electricity is biodirectional. They could be basically siphoning off our energy to feed the circuit board cities. Clogs, then that put a stop to that because they're wood, aren't they? Yeah, they had us wearing rubber soles as well for a while because they didn't get electric. You know, a lot of my working boots got rubber soles and stuff, and they say they're static shock proof. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's actually a good thing. I'm not sure. They came across the water. Everybody's going to die. So the Phoenicians can be beaten simply by we brought them here, we send them back, clear our consciousness. I don't know that slipped in there, but she's a pretty Tartarian girl. Have you ever seen a piano so beautiful? Can you imagine old Mozart tripping his tits off, whacking a tune out on her? I can. So what an effort made for a piano. I know. So plenty of civilizations under the water. They never got basically the water receded. And here's a Tartar lady, same sort of thing as that girl I had on, with a sort of just, I suppose, like plates. But this is a tech as well, isn't it? And seeing these jewels over, her head. Sometimes they have a jewel over their crown, over their mind's eye. Sometimes over the crown chakra. But this jewel here, definitely think it's all of this. The earrings, that, there. Just think about the acupuncture, when they stick needles into acupuncture and it affects certain parts of the endochromatic system. Wouldn't this work with a stone over the same points, a crystal? I think so. I really do. So I think that is a unique and very clever science rather than just looking beautiful. Is what I think. So, another petrified body in mud. Another pretty Tartarian girl. I love this painting. It's absolutely beautifully made. Oh, they captured that. I know, I've got great taste. I know. We like it classy on Flat Earth British, don't we? Yeah, it's a British thing. Okay. We don't have to trash it all the time, do we? So, in fact, that was rough. Yeah, they didn't tell us about that. Oh my God, that stung! I think this is Jesus cutting this guy in because he's just had like Armageddon happen in the background, as you can see. That was rough. Looks like a nuclear war. Yeah, and Jesus is giving him a clutch. Going, it's going to be all right. I seen a painting once. It was haunting. Stared at it for hours in Belfast, Stella Maris once, and it was a massive painting, beautifully painted, of a helmsman at sea in a terrible storm, and Jesus standing behind him with his arms on his shoulders, guiding him. And I was just staring at that picture for hours. Really interesting. So this guy is traveling by flying carpet, but I think he's got a phoenix in his lantern. So either the phoenix is for light, or the phoenix gives you electromagnetic properties to make your flying carpet fly. And you could have Fred in there with, that would defy so-called forces, ether forces. So I think that they were getting around on flying carpets. I think capes were a thing. So after each reset, like the one that happened 400 odd years ago with the Phoenicians, they came across the water, they got into consciousness, and it was easy because people were weak to fall for it. Now we got one of these shields again, so they collect everything up, try on their spoils of all of the trillions of dead, and just collect it all up. You find it in so many artworks of collecting antiquity. It's been left so long, all of the cobwebs have come back, and let's clear out all the deados. I'm afraid I don't know what happened to them, but they look a bit white, so I think they've been up there maybe a little while. So let's have a look at this one. So I need to find out the clue. Look at that. That looks like actually a screen, like a telly screen, rather than paintings. The Phrygian hat that we see in alchemical formulas. I really need to get to the crux of what that thing is, because it seems to be really important with reset. The true meaning, I mean, not what they tell you on Wikipedia. So, 630 watching, super fantastic. So, in Washington, right, so there's a raging civil war going on, right, the biggest in American history, around 1865. But Lincoln, President Lincoln, this is in 1860, okay, he commissions a new dome on the Capitol building. And with all of that money needed for war, the biggest war ever, all he can think about is completing this, and then it gets completed just in time for the end of the Civil War. He doesn't actually see it get completed because his brain's blown out by Booth, apparently. I think this is a fake image. To me, right, these fields are definitely the ones you see in front of Washington. There's the lake. The lake looks like it's ancient and not really new. That square lake you see, the one you see in, oh, I don't know, Forrest Gump, when he runs into it. You know that clip in Forrest Gump? So that lake, and it's pig farms there, and nothing going on. And yeah, you think that in front of this shit and pig farms, they're going to build a great Capitol building. And behind these trees, something off with the depth and the perception. To me, I think the thing was already there. I don't think he built a freaking dome during that period anyway. Or something else is going on, clearly. Okay, I can't understand the language. Me? Miha, in, Junip. I don't know. It's a Phoenician. She got like fishes all over her and lizardy feet. It's nice ceramic work, though. So, Lee as well was the possibility of flying, well, I guess aircraft carriers, because there's a film called Sky Captain of Tomorrow, and they have this great secret, the British Air Force, where they have this aircraft carrier floating in the sky. But in this medieval depiction, what you see is a floating castle with English flags all over it. And the flags could be a technology for levitational purposes, because flags can have thread in them that could collect electrostatic charge. And some ships were so big that they had entire buildings and castles on them, like this. They were that big. Imagine how many people they could deliver to this world that got ruined. So we got a recollection of the world of Pan and this weird trippiness, but there's an interim period when all of this gets smashed, all of it. These get filled with mud. The waterfalls are no longer active, the fountains. Place built for giants. You really don't need 25, 30 foot high, vaulted beautifully, technasmiad ceiling. The painting on the wall is of a burning devastation. Massive arches for these tiny little people. And people were supposed to be really small in the 1600s, guys. They say the average height was about 5'5" for a man. But that's not what the case is it? No. Built for giants. It's on that picture up there. Shit. So this is a strange altarpiece thing, isn't it? I wonder what that's for. If it's a sideboard, why is it so big? She can't reach up there. Oh, hang on. I'll just get my plates. Could you go and get the ladder? You see what I mean? You wouldn't even be able to see up there. They just collect dust. No, they're just occupying somebody else's house, a giant's house after reset. A bit like they did in World War II when the Jews lost their houses. And, they just got given to members of the party, didn't they? Ask no questions, wink, wink. Or to the previous occupants. So look at this, fantastic. It's just like a mud floor, but above is just mind-blowing spectacle. Again, possibly big, high ceilings. Little tiny people. Oh, that is really fab, isn't it? Oh. So again, tiny, tiny people for a massive, massive, massive vaulted church machine. Massive organ in the back. Just look at the size of these people. Is there any need for it, really? I don't think so. So I need a drink. So I can't believe 624 of you have managed to retain. Stick around. You've got more to come. I'm going to come back and have a chat with you all now. Give some of you good peeps a shoutage. And hang on for a bit more. What's the time? 11:30. Oh my, 11:40. I have not been talking for 3 hours, 2 hours, 40 minutes, have I? I possibly have. Whew. All right, then. More electricity. Doesn't appear to be gas. A lovely little picture. Oh, we got a little kiss going down. Oh, somebody's being courted and married off. Oh, it's not so bad, is it? Oh, it's happy. So, yeah, look at these. These do not belong in there. They're like dots. They just opened all of the graves and esophaguses and trying to get money out or something, I reckon. They've just arrived and found this stuff. And it looks like the floor's false and this thing should go a damn sight deeper. Wouldn't you agree? Like this is the top of an arch that goes deeper. Can you see that, guys? Catching my perspective, that's a fake floor. That goes deeper, much, much deeper. You see that? Yeah, yeah. Wow. Look at that place. A crappy mud floor. Okay. Crazy big churches. What do you think this gadget does to what look like maybe marble obelisks? Oh, the old black and white checkered floor. We know what that means, don't we? I know. Very free. The flagpoles? What about the aerial behind it? What about the wire coming off of this thing here? Aerial. Can you see this? And that is in Maidstone. Is that Maidstone in Kent? I guess so. Maidstone in Kent, guys. So see the wire coming off there, surely? Yeah. So, active technasmia. Still got crap on the streets. They got pavements, though. That's nice. I love this shot. Ruins of a Virginia water. Now, I'm wondering if this is Virginia water. Is this Virginia, America? Because if there is Virginia water, it's got that in America. Well, you got some serious questions with American history, guys. Because Rome never got to America, apparently. Wow, look at that. Absolutely love that picture. I don't know, maybe it's just the greens. I don't know. Really, really resonates with me. Also, fantastic ceilings. They also resonate with me. Except this, looking down. Yeah, spooky, isn't it? Okay. Super fantastic. So, yeah, that'd be cool if you found concrete or wherever it is made of full of coins. And they go on oxidized, so get this copper content in them. But that'd be a nice haul. Don't tell them where you found it. Where was it? Deep underground in an egg. Sprites. Or electrical discharges. Not far above the ground, but look how much they look like trees. Or archeries. Or synapses of the mind. Isn't it curious how, or Lichtenberg lines, you know, it's crazy how many things in nature and to do with the human body look exactly like the discharge of low atmospheric electrical spritage, whatever this phenomenon is. It's vectoring. Strange thing. I don't know. It's in Odessa. I'm guessing it might be advertising, but it's hard to say, guys. It is really hard to say. So, what would you say? Technology? Is that a tap? It might be just a big jug advertising thing. Regardless, it's unusual, isn't it? Paris Exposition. Check this out for a beautiful image. Everything here gone. And on the other side, all the way along the saying they had all this beautiful stuff. Because I didn't realize it was as expansive. Because that arch there that I show on thumbnails often is miles away from the Eiffel Tower, like literally miles away. So this place was flipping massive. And there's the exposition hall for all of the stuff, the spoils of a reset. The rest of Paris looks really low compared to this great civilization. Maybe they just kept the topography down so you could see the exposition. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Now that is either it's in the landscape. It's either a tree that's been hit by lightning or petrified. But looking at these 3 marks, I think this may be where the landscape got pulled up by a very powerful plasma discharge event. If not, then it's a tree trunk. These things are called Anderons. If you don't know, if we believe them to be free energy for fireplaces in the age of Tartaria, they feed back into the plate, somehow collecting energy out of the ether, somehow warming the plate, is what we think. So, tree. What about this? What about this? It's obviously not a geographical thing. It looks like exactly like a rotten tree trunk, doesn't it? It's got the color of wood as well, hasn't it? It's curious, that one. Oi, oi, Connie, nerve. What's happening? And this thing, right, it's like a crest, that thing we're just looking at. But when you look at it close up to that tree, it's actually a wall, a giant wall. Let's have a look at that again. This thing here, okay, leading up to this ginormous tree trunk, looks like a giant wall, this rib. Can't imagine any geographical formation making that happen. So apparently this was what was going to happen on the Eiffel Tower, but didn't actually come into fruition. Interesting that they say this is cars that go circular and come up this thing all the way back down again when they look exactly like superconductors. Maybe that was the original purpose for this thing. One massive energy gatherer. There they are, the Anderons. Into the back. And so heating this plate. So it would be more like, like rather than a fire or heat emanating, like a radiator, if you like. So there's that wall, look, guys. And it definitely looks like a wall all the way over up to this. It's like this might have been a melted great massive building or something. Or, I don't know. It looks like a spined MC. I'm just thinking that now. The spine of a great animal. What you think, guys? Hey, Campbell, Autodidactic, my brother. Good to see you. So I'll come back now. I'm going to have a chat with you all, guys. I'll shoot a few more images. I have actually got stacks to show. It's just, it's different when it's live because I'm interacting and stuff. And I'm glad it's all gone well. So, yeah, they are fantastic. Fantastic images. This is what happens as well. They all go batshit crazy and kill everyone. See, I'm not in the camp to let that shit go down to any people. And I know loads of people that would not let that happen to any good people. We'll fight to protect the people. Even though they know not what they do. When they wear their masks, they're just bending over and they're just being obey-bos. They're just obeying the man. I don't know why they obey anybody. I don't fucking obey anybody. Let them fucking kill me already. I don't even care. Fuck them. Look at this, guys. Head. I'm scared. You care. So I thought it was a giant, first of all, but this is supposed to be the pyramids of Egypt, but they do not resemble anything we see of the modern day. What I find one interesting note, though, guys, is you see these arches here on the side of, I'm guessing, is the Great Pyramid of Giza. I love down here. I sort of thought it might have said Sudan, but that was a name for a lot of Africa. There's a blast they say they did with dynamite, but it's in the same location as this, maybe 3/4 of the way up. But you got big doors going into it. And this one here and this one. And look at this civilization behind. All Phoenician with the mermen, mermaids. So, That's a little bit of a different take on the pyramids than we usually see, isn't it? What if they were like that in the alchemical era? So, like I said, this civilization didn't fare very well. There's some of it left, you see, in Italy and everything. But a lot of it's worn, and a lot of it has been destroyed. And everything has got this technical bit in it, you know, like what I call the locking code. Phoenician faces, red marble, and beautiful water features. This was, you know, they really had the water nailed. You can see the water even in their architecture. Why is that even doable? How is that even doable? Here you are, the reset world. Mud, giant arches, half buried, anomalous towers, and every picture you always see that I've heard of them. Always outside perspective, you're never in the situation, and they always show the artifact, the ruin, people coming in like tourists, checking out, walking all over them like the first time they'd ever seen them, like the world was never there before, if that makes any sense. These are supposed to be Roman cups, and they're made from a stone that actually self-illuminates. So they're illuminating, self-illuminating Roman cups. They're back or something, by the way. So thank you, 645. What a super fantastic flat day night. I'm absolutely amazed by that. Thanks so much. I'll give you all a good shout and come back in a minute. We can have a little hangout for half hour. So make sure to thumbs this up. Make sure to share this out, guys. Okay, so no people are bored at home. Okay, I've got more to come. I'm not going away just yet. Seem to all be having a good time looking at this stuff. So again, the Phoenician sphinxes with a giant water container with a pineal gland on the bottom, the acorn. What could its use be apart from some sort of a font or drinking utensil for some sort of giants? Because nobody else could actually get in that, could they? Lion on it, everything. It's crazy. So keys. I'm looking for keys. Every one of us in this room right now has got a key to the whole paradigm. You have to smash it apart, really, so we can start fresh, start anew, a new realm, a new reality. We all know what we want. We all know how this place should be. This place had such potential, what they did with it. But it's okay. It's okay, because it's meant to be. I really do think all of this is meant to be, to take us to a certain point where we all need to learn together. The entire human peoples are just being subjected to extreme terrorism and gaslighting with no end in sight. There's nothing bigger. And that in itself will prepare us. It will give us the steadfastness, the strength of spirit, to trust in one another. Okay? Because trust seems to have disappeared. I don't know. Maybe it's just me in my life. I don't know. But a lot of people stopped trusting one another in recent years. And trust was, hard to get hold of in the past. But something special has happened with British Think Tank. We found hundreds of people, all like-minded, who actually got real love and trust for one another, which is like rare in this world. It really fucking is. It's the most beautiful thing. What about chest plates made of gold or brass? They would protect you somehow. But this is for the back. And it's the same cogs again, isn't it? I think they, rather than protection, I think they would rather interact with the internal magnets. We have a magnet in our chest cavity. Birds also have magnets in their chests. Yeah, this is how they, birds do not fly at night, and they could quite easily fly at night, guys. Okay, they could use their, their inner sense or their electromagnetism or follow ley lines, the way they get around in the day. They could do that at night, but at night they come to roost. All birds land and come to roost at night. Why is that? When they could fly. I think there is something to do with the interaction of the light and the ether that makes them fly. And this is why they're all hurrying home at night. And this is why they have strange electromagnetic murmurations of starlings just before the light dwindles and the night falls. I think there's a definite connection. That's an interesting one. Look at this. It's all like the Tartarian airships and stuff. I'm not sure why this is coming in like a missile, but the mud is cracked, mud flooded, trees rotten. I don't know what the cattle are eating because there's only mud there. If you was to have a decanter in lead crystal and to cover it with Phoenician statues in such a manner, what would the effect be on the liquid inside, even with this geometric pattern here? I think it'd have an effect on the liquid. I really do. If you can put a petal in a pail of water, and that petal will be, its image will be replicated in every single droplet of water that's taken out of that pail, like a photographic image, every single drop. So you can imagine that on the whole, for oceans, for seas, for us. The implications are just so fantastic. I had to even get my head around. But not really. It's just getting it, isn't it? Once you get it and a penny drops, the rest of the puzzle pieces fall into place. So this is Spain you're looking at here. I think it's Cadiz. Blank panels. And always the water features, which are all gone. And colossal statues, the size of these two. Any need for them? Just build giants, like New York giants. So another symptom I missed, which I've been getting, another Ascension symptoms, I've been talking about them all week for, basically a rough guide to Ascension by Flat Earth British to help, if I could. Heart palpitations. When we feel any sort of physical pains in our heart, it's a common sign that our heart center is raising in vibration and is opening to a higher state of energy. Along with the higher state, within the heart center comes new levels of empathy and compassion in all forms. So, yes, I concur with that. So there's El Dorado again, if you are wondering, and its location. If you want to go in, hunt of a golden city and make a raise, there's the map, okay? X-Master Spot. I want the treasure map anyway. I really, really do. And I go on a treasure hunt, guys. So, Flat Earth British, as I talk about on most vlogs, use our mind-blowing website, Mudflood, free resource when you scroll down to it, and all the subjects we cover, okay? And you can get the Holy Grail of our Flat Earth, the Flat Earth British book, which is a mind splat, all talking about electromagnetics, the true structure of this flat plane, and much more besides, resets, etc. Okay, which we're going through at the moment. Some crazy depopulation. Flat Earth British Think Tank. So this is what I've been up to all week, creating a new realm, Cardiff Giant, saying it's a psyop, and 3 days ago, God, I thought it was less than that, and Ascension process, which is super fantastic. Now, a couple of shouts and an Amoria. Mysterium, that's it. This guy gave me a fantastic. So you're going to hear this guy's music coming out of my videos, and I'm not going to get copyrighted for them, apparently, because he gave me a load of music. And he makes beautiful videos with statues and art and cemeteries with beautiful music. So I will link that below. He's only got 8 subs, and he's on board. He's one of us, so there you are. So also on my community page, I posted this morning that little advice about changing the water. And I've also been sharing this girl here because I think she's got big clues and she's going to do really well in Mudflood. Her name is Laura. Campbell's already, who's also detective, gone over to her channel and wish her all the best. She's growing steadily, but she's got clues. I don't know how I know, but I know because she's so smart. So concerning the bookage, the Holy Grail of our Flat Earths, these are some of the topics that we covered in them. Do you remember this, Dick? Neil deGrasse Tyson coming in and chucking his microphone on the floor? Well, Matthew McConaughey's just come out as a Flat Earth, and I'm thinking that this thing, the Flat Earth reality, will be easier for people to come to terms with once they've been dragged through the mill imaginarily by their controllers. So the double torus in which we live on the inertia plane, which is probably 12 kilometers below our feet, because that's all they've been. I asked him about anything to do with Flat Earth, and this is where he's going to come back. Look at his eyes all red because he's so blocked up. Yeah. So that's the face of science. That's your high-end intellectual. Scary, isn't it? Yeah, I know. And that is a Welsh flag where I live. Cymru I Bath, I am Wales, from Wales. I'm a Welshman. Welsh. And this is where I live, right by there. It says Martin Liedtke lives by here. Okay. 4 angels and a clock that works backwards. Checking on that. That's what happens with the droplet. We know hardly anything about our realm. And the water. Of course the water was programming and had the information. Akashic records, something that's not even, it's not tangible. It's just an idea. Yet the water's not idea. It's fucking there, isn't it? Look, 4 angels. One of these beautiful, beautiful mandalas they make of chalk. They spend ages doing it, and then they end up bloody scruffing them up, which really winds me up. But it is a beautiful thing to be able to do. Imagine doing one of them and completing it. I would be into that. I really would. Hiya, Flatlight Media. So I'll show a few more images. This is coming up to, actually, I'm into the next day. Flatterday is no longer a thing. So Google used that as one of their Google Doogles under the dome, flying round and round and round, all in plain sight. And there's Mount Meru, as I talked about on the beginning of this post. You must have gone in this river here, Olaf, up to here, and then maybe in the North Pole hole, which is thought to be there. This is a gravitational well, but it comes up like Mount Meru, like a pyramid, and then it dips down again as well. So that would be a way in, but, if not temporarily. This is for you, gents. Dust. Oh, let's do that again. We missed the sand over nipple flow. Oh, never mind. And this is my rabbit. He's not my rabbit. He's somebody's rabbit. Isn't he lovely? I know. So it's good reminiscing all this. I'm reminiscing the greatest secret never told on the Celtic Tartarian channel. This is why we think the sun and the moon are working. Levitationally through electromagnetic propulsion and attraction from the 4 angels, which makes absolutely perfect sense and has to be. No doubt about it, my Brian, at all, anymore. See this scientist? Yeah, he's a crazy person, probably possessed by an evil spirit who just plays tricks on him, because the mind can play tricks on you. So I'll finish with this. Tesla, who's a bit of a chick, apparently, not Tesla, Einstein. He was once asked, who's the most intelligent man on earth? And he said, how should I know? Asked Nikola Tesla. But he's sitting on a stone, Albert Einstein. Okay, please note in German, Stein means stone. And the expression Dominestein means total idiot. So this is why he poses on a big photo by Big Stone, mocking us all who know the name. But check his shoes out, guys. Yeah? He's in the same club as Michael. Huh? Michael Obama. God, he's a bit of a chunk, isn't he, Michael Obama? He's like a sumo wrestler. Am I going to punch off him? Okay, no. Anyway, scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly. But one can think deeply and be quite sane. Nice little quote there, Tezzy baby. I think I'm going to go on that. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to come right back now. I think I'm going to stop sharing. Come back. Hi. Fat British. God, I just talked for 3 fucking hours and I haven't gone through half my vlog yet. Jeez. Right then. Thank you all for popping by. 630 of you have managed to retain for all of this time, which is absolutely a fascination of how I managed to do that. So what we looked at, Olaf Johnson. I love that story. I love it when he meets the kind giants. Do you? That's why I read it, because I love that bit. That's my favourite bit of a book ever. No, it really is. I know. I'm such a child. Let's give you all a shout then. Autodidactic, my brother Campbell. Hook up soon, bruv. On one of these. Be fantastic. Share shit and let's do stuff. Yeah? Dallas Fowler. good to see you again. Einstein was a thief and a liar. Well, his relativity is bullshit, special relativity. Got rid of ether science, didn't it? Ether was the reality. I got physics books in there from 1890s. They deal with ether, but the math is a bit too complicated for me to follow, so I don't. Gary Felton, Sam to you. He was also a womanizer. Yeah, so they say. Don't think he was, mate. They say he was a womanizer. He might have been a womanizer. I don't know. Them sandals are a bit suspect, though. You have to make any. Would you wear them? You wouldn't, mate, would you? Oh. Yeah, good story. Thanks, DJ. I didn't know it was going to work out. You know, I'm always winging it. You know, it's a life thing and trying this new format out, which is really enjoyable for a Flatterday night. Fantastic. What a buzz tonight in the crowd, guys. Wow, that was tangible. Super Cyan. Love you, Martin. Love you too, whoever you all are. My friends. Flat thumbs to you all. Right, have you heard the news? Better tell you about it. You ready? Fucking hell. You're going to be happy about this, guys. Yeah, no, it's a news flash. King and Queen Fun. I don't know if you met these. Have you met King and Queen Fun? Have you? Okay. There's King Fun. And he's going to tell you all about the problems he's experienced in the last week. I don't know if you know about this, but the Queen, okay, she's not actually mentally stable. She's lovely, don't get me wrong. She's beautiful in many ways. But back in. So anyway, here's King Fun, okay? Kingy Kins, as we know him, or Thummykins. Okay. Now he's gonna tell you something now. See my wife, yeah? She been smashing the fucking house up for 3 days. Oh, Jesus, can you hear that? She's in the kitchen. She's smashing everything. She's ruining our palace. And we just sold Buckingham Palace, so we're going to sell it. And we're moving out of Winslow Castle to a bunker. Anyway, the reason being is I think she should tell you herself. Here's Queenie. I just lost Pingy. Hi, Queenie. Hi. Are you that voice from the fourth dimension, that Welsh one again? Yeah. You know I'm not keen on you, don't you? Yeah. I don't really care, Queenie. You've got a bit of an attitude. You're going to go now, shortly, but shut up, hadn't you? Ooh, and you the cheeky Welshman. Anyway, you know what they've done? Do you know what they've done? They fucking got rid of me. Do you know what? They got my gay son in now and his butler. Did you hear about that? I don't think Charles is gay, love. You know, he was married once to what was his name? Not his name. Her name was Di. Guess what happened to her? Yeah, I know. They blame me, didn't they? Yeah, and like with the pandemic, it took me 3 weeks to say, sorry about your dead princess. Stop crying now. She'll be all right in the afterlife. Not ever. She's all right. She got cloned and we changed her into Di Furnish. She's now married to Alton Pong and he's going to be back to sing Candle in the Wind after the pandemic is over with. Are you looking forward to that? Anyway, I've got to abdicate. Don't be sad. Don't cry. You'll never see her again. This could be the last King and Queen film ever in the history of Flat Earth British, which will make this a seminal moment in Flat Earth Britishness. Don't cry. I'm going to be abdicated and I'm going to be sent to the Royal Knackers Yard. You know what they really do, don't you, love? No, I don't actually know what they really do. Have you seen Madame Tussauds Wax Museum? No, I haven't actually. Is that a good place? No, I don't think it's going to be a good place, love. Have you seen Greco-Romano statues? Oh, yes, love, I've seen them. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, them Greco-Romano statues. Yeah, they're royal people when they've been abdicated and they're gone. Did you know that? No, I actually never knew that. Is that what's going to happen to me? Oh, this is a fucking nightmare. Get me out of here. Why don't you all just fucking die already? Anyway, I'm off to the Knackers Yard. I'm going to have an affair with Putin, the Russian Prime Minister, because he's doing my head in. Yeah. Obviously, a bit of tension here in the royal household. Anyway, King and Queen firm? Yes. Yes, voice from another dimension. Put your crown up. Let's have a look, you guys. You are a motley couple, aren't you? Yeah. What are you going to do now, then? Now you're retiring or being killed off? We don't really know. Maybe we'll get a job. And B&Q are taking on next year, I hope. Anyway, bye, King and Queen Fun. We've loved you. Say goodbye to the flat earth British peeps. Goodbye, you motley crew yourself. Oh, Queen's crying. You feel sorry for Queenie. Don't. Fuck her. Kingy, he's all right, though. Did you get his fluffy sex dungeon together after Kingy? No, I'm working on it still. It was only an excuse. I never really had one. It was just to get away from her. She's bastard, isn't she? Yeah, she is, mate. Yeah, don't worry. We like you. Anyway, later, Kingy Fun. You were all right. You turned out my mate in the end, didn't you? Yeah, you weren't really on that adrenochrome, were you? No. What happened to your other eye? You didn't put it on right, mate. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye, Kingy. That's what happens when you get stuck in for months on end. I don't know. So, yeah, the Queen's going. What you reckon on that? And Buckingham Palace. They're not going to reset us. Nothing's going to happen, guys. It's all going to be super fantastic. Can't wait to end all of this bullshit. So, set your intent. There's a massive new thing going to happen, and it's not going to be to do with controlled activism. I'm on it all. So, all you got to do, or all anyone got to do, is make sure they don't fucking upset me. Everyone is going to know about it then. Alva Billy, thank you, my brother. DJ, nice one, brother. Lady Guy, Lady, you move too quick. Lady Zaga, I was going to stay. Cabin fever, yeah, cabin fever. It is a bit like that. You go a bit crazy at sea as well. You get like crazy sea. Craziness, stir craziness. I guess about 2 weeks at sea, you know. Whew. It's not good. So when you get to shore, though, fantastic there. Crowbear, good to see you. Dan MC. Ranty, can I have your subs, mate? No, you got to just keep on going, mates. You know how this works. Just perseverance. I'm never giving up. You just have a breakthrough one day. Something super fantastic happens and just have a breakthrough, or just keep going. That's all I do. Almost, good to see you. How old is the Queen now? 173. They had to get rid of her. People are asking questions. The Duke of Crow. Deco Dude, good to see you. That's it. It goes up to Ranty Flat Earth, who has debates about flat Earth stuff. Or who has George Nutsack on his fucking show. And I wouldn't entertain that for a fucking second. The guy needs to put him down. Is what you need. Lee, good to see you. She's 90 fucking 4. Is anybody in this world 94? Wow. She's not 94, mate. She's 194. Yeah, I know. Matthew Orlando, what's up? Full moon? Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Been here talking. Rebecca Silvananius, 573 of you watching. I'm going to be going soon, guys, okay? I'll be talking for nearly 3 hours. I can't imagine anyone watching this back. Okay, so I'm glad that worked at the beginning. There's a little bit of a glitch at the beginning, but I got my little bit of reading out, a bit of excitement about giants, thoughts about electromagnetics, Pics, which failed, and my cursor wouldn't work, but I shared loads of other images anyway, so nothing lost. Few minor problems. Mrs. Crowbear, Dallas Fowler, Dean, who is Lotus Film Studios, excuse me. Aloha to Hawaii. Astro, my brother, good to see you. Vertic, who's still in chat. Lee. Blue Moon tonight, have a look. Oh, I will. Don't worry. Wood and Nichols, did I miss the Queenie Kingy thing? Yeah, I'm sorry, Wood and Nichols. You did, my friend. Oh, shit, no. Yeah, she's retiring. Yeah, are you Wood and Nichols? Yeah, we know all about you. All right, we know all about the things you get up to. Queenie has got a secret police state. She knows everything about everything. Okay. Yeah, oh, good, Vertic. Good to see you. Jenko Jones, nice to see you again. Okay, Josh Stanley. So give us all a shout in chat. I'll give you all a shout, and then I'm going to chuck out because time's getting on and all that. So I would have sung you a song, but I found that. Odin's son, thank you very much. I love a bit of Odin. He was a very good god. Okay, by the power of 4. DJ Adigio, Olaf. Cracking little story in it, one of my favorites ever. So yeah, the chat feed when I finish this will not be up straight away because people say in my comments I can't read the chat feed. You got to upload to YouTube first, and that takes a couple of hours. Okay, $10 super sticker from Debbie. Woo! I didn't know what a super sticker is. I've never seen a super sticker. So Dave's saying, He loves me, mate. Dave's my old mate. I've known him quite a bit. So Sketch. Sketchy's my old mate as well, Glenn. Okay, Brian Tucker. Barbaria. Thanks for bringing that up. I will put a link in the description box for a breakaway civilization known as Barbaria, which is set up in different countries. You can get on the website and find out where it's happening, where you can contribute or where you can join and get away. Still looking for Barbaria, Great Britain, however, but I'll just have a moment and then I'll make that happen. I have to be in the mode. Very creature, me. Anyway, so Rebecca, don't worry about missing the broadcast. You can watch it back. So, peace and love to you all. Be epic. Be FEB epic. Don't let them bullshit get you down. Don't fucking wear a mask. Don't even worry about it. Just waltz through it all like nothing is happening. Don't even look at them, okay? And don't, confront anyone. Anyone confronts you, just laugh at them and walk off. They grab you, they're going down. So just don't worry about a thing, all right? We just ride this through together and hopefully get through to the other side, safe and sound, happy FEB peeps. I will be here to rally the crowd, keep us all together, and keep us on a positive vibration, okay? That's what I will do as often as I can possibly do it through this shitty, weird time. Okay, this crappy B-movie, horror B-movie that they got us in. Okay, so 1,000 share thoughts. I don't know what I've exactly said. I just brain spew, don't I? You know what I'm like. Anyway, thank you, Otto. Thank you, Ava Billy. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Olivia, Kadina. Love to you too. So. Thanks for coming by, peeps. That was an epic night, wasn't it? Hail Flatterdays. They're fucking epic, aren't they? I used to do shows like this years ago, but they're not like this one. This one's like business. I am creative. Much love to you, FEB peeps. We're all here for you. All FEB peeps are all here for you. Okay, guys, when we have these chat feeds, we'd all hang out. Okay, 600. If we was all in a hall together, that'd be a good few people, wouldn't it? I know, we'd have a fantastic time. I know. So, Tartaria. Thank you, Helen Eager. Thank you, Joy, again. Thank you, Lee. Don't buy into the fear. I don't even understand why people fear anything anyway. It's just weird stuff. Fear is negativity, and fear is doubting yourself. And a lot of, doubting people is through insecurities, doubts, not knowing who they are. Once you find out who you are, the fear just disintegrates because you're capable of absolutely fucking anything you want to be, anything you want to do. This place is limitless. Don't ever think it's not. Don't limit your experience in this place. Why would people limit their experience? You should experience life in its fullest. The nature and just the experience of being. Yeah, any moments could be very, very fulfilling, guys. Like I said, with that spiritual experience with my guardian angel, that electric was just divine. Didn't try. I'm not taking a piss, and I didn't try it the night after. To take that spiritual blast of electric energy that was absolutely, ecstatic. It was absolutely just beautiful. So I didn't ask for it because I don't want to take the piss like I do with animals. When I with dogs and cats and all of that, I won't just dive in. I like psychically, I say to the animal, I'll ask, because dogs are very respectful. It's just, you don't mind, respectfully, if I just come in and give you some love. And dogs will always, I gotta think, dogs absolutely love life, British. They do, and animals generally. So thank you, Loyal Tangle. Nothing bad can really happen. No. It will to the ones that think it will. Like I've explained before, if you think that it's going to be shitty, I guarantee you it will be fucking shitty for you, okay? You have to stay positive. You have to clear intent beyond this point. Not all of it, beyond. Like it's all gone. There's a new world here. Everyone's free. Everyone is happy. And you just wake up every day excited for your new day to see what fantastical new things you might discover. Or what, just to get that buzz again that I have every single day. Can you imagine living like that? No more pain, no more fear, no more stress, no more anguish. All of the shame and everything that Phoenicia give us. Go. Can you imagine that? That's coming. It's fantastic, isn't it? I know. I'm excited. Okay, very ground. I do try. Well, we'll all try, and I'm trying myself. I fail myself at some, practicing what I preach all the time, but I get like back on track. Don't go too far. Get back on track. Anyway, Matthew Lando, thank you all of you. Peace and love to you all. As I said, I got to get going. I need a drink. Anyway, that was epic. Make sure to share this out, guys. Make sure to like if you did. Okay, I'll be back very soon, only a day or so. Keep an eye on the Flat Earth British Think Tank channel because I put the rest of the post up that I never presented on that channel in a day.